Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. I'm bossing up before they count to 10. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends.
Welcome back to day number 3 of the VCT Game Changers APAC Last Chance Qualifier, where by the end of today, we will see our very first team qualify through to Elite from LCQ. Before we get there, I'm your host, Ginny originally, and with me on the desk is the lovely Dax. Dax, how have the games been for day 1 and day 2?
They've been absolutely solid here, Jenny. I was waiting though. I was gonna test you real quick. Your intro is always first name, IGN, last name. I'm like, does Jenny even know my real name?
Hey!
But it's okay. It's okay.
Look, Mr. Rosales.
Well, at least you got the last name right. But it's great to see you here, Jenny, from LA to LCQ. You are just going to be tuning in to, of course, some of the most amazing matches we have seen, especially for the standouts from the open circuit and beyond. Like, okay, we have teams who have qualified for Elite already, but these names have been grinding all year just to get this chance. And here at LCQ, you already said it, we're going to have one team today at the very end of this broadcast between MLT and Neons, who will move on to Elite as well.
Yeah, and we've got a pretty exciting lineup. I've always said that, like, day number 3 of the Game Changers APAC schedule is always the most exciting. It's always the one I look forward to the most because we've got not 1, not 2, but 3 series coming up for you guys. The first 2 of the day are going to be elimination matches, and then the final series of today is going to be that best of 5 series.
I mean, it's a long day, that's for sure. Especially that we're going to be doing the lower bracket first. But of course, guys, if you don't know the roadmap as of yet, we're already done with the open circuit. Open 1, Open 2, Open 3, all incredible. And then we're here for LCQ this time around. 2 teams going to qualify. And Jenny, where they're going to be playing once everything is said and done?
Wow, okay, so Elite, that's going to be coming up. That's the one that all the teams have been gearing towards for the entire year, right? And also, I mean, we don't want to talk that much about the prize pool because it's not about the money, you know, Dax. It's not always about the money that motivates you, but of course, Elite has that $35,000 prize pool that goes such a long way in helping these teams, you know, just prepare for the next year. And also, it's a pretty good reward to cap off the end of the year. It will be in October. As you mentioned, we're done with Open 1, 2, and 3. This is the last chance qualifier that does end tomorrow, and we've got a really exciting, I think, roadmap. Like the schedule is always a bit compressed towards like these a couple of months. So just every single month, pretty much, there's been a Game Changers Open or last chance qualifiers, and Elite coming up next month as well. These are the 8 teams that did make it out of the Swiss stages this time around. Be My Team, you thought Deviant Topaz, MLT Esports, Nana and Friends, Neds, Nyx, as well as the Hero KDA. Of course, we've already said goodbye, unfortunately, to a couple of these teams. We won't be seeing them anymore for this year, but of course, we've still got 6 teams left in the competition.
Absolutely. A great effort there from Be My Team as well as Bot from yesterday, but unfortunately eliminated. Such is the nature of the bracket. And of course, who's awaiting the victors here of LCQ? Our top 6 teams that have been impressive all throughout Open 1, Open 2, and Open 3. Team SMG, your 3-time champion, of course, all the way to the top seed. You got Orangutan X, Pulsed Sapphire, RQ Kaguya, Sight WJ, and Global Esports Phoenix. So I wonder here, Jenny, any matchups or some of these teams perhaps, are they eyeing certain teams all the way in Elite to target or to prepare for immediately?
Wow, yeah, that would be a banger of a storyline. I think that we've spoken to pretty much players from every single one of the already 6 qualified teams, right? We do have those sweet post-match interviews that we do get from them. I think for most of the girls, their focus is pretty much on themselves, you know, and just doing as well as they can do. But we have seen a couple of them go up against some of the teams that are still in LCQ. Notably, I think Deviant Topaz, the Hero KDA, just really showing up in the last Open 3. So that will be a very exciting matchup if these teams do make it into Elite. But yeah, there's the prize pool on your screen, and I just love how Last Chance Qualifier has the same $10,000 prize pool as the previous Open 1, 2, and 3. Kind of like, you know, the top 6 teams have already qualified through Open 1, 2, and 3, and now we're just left with a lot of these teams who have very close, like they're very close in terms of strength, in terms of ability, and I think that's what we've been seeing on day 1 and day 2, which is just a lot of very close matches. So just absolutely great for them that, you know, they're going to be fighting for a chance at the 10,000 prize pool, as well as 2 slots, the 2 last slots for Elite.
Wow, last slots in the Last Chance Qualifier? Say it ain't so, Jenny. But you make such a good point that we had so many close games, especially in the upper bracket. Look at yesterday's games. Nyx and MLT going 3 maps. Same case for Neons as well as the Hero KDA. And at the very end, MLT and Neons are the ones looking to play for that initial slot into Elite. On the other hand, we're going to be kicking off the day with the lower bracket. Big surprise that the Neon KDA, the team that had a flawless record from the Swiss stage, down in the lower bracket facing against Nana and Friends. On the other side, it's Nyx versus Deviant Topaz. And I kind of want to ask you, Jenny, in these upcoming matchups, which are you most excited for, given the fact that, you know, 2 more teams are being eliminated today?
Wow, I mean, you're putting me on the spot
of
here,
course.
Dax.
Welcome back.
Yo. Okay, hear me out. Before day 1 of Last Chance qualifiers, like I would have bet you anything that like Deviant Topaz, the Hero KDA, they're probably going to be like my top picks coming into LCQ. But I mean, you know, we've seen some of these teams struggle here and there, and just very close matches. We've seen a bunch of these series go to overtime. that Neon series yesterday, 14-12, that has gotta hurt as well. So I don't know, man. I think any of these teams, realistically, I think 4 out of like 6 or so of these teams have a very good chance of taking those top 2 slots. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm more surprised of what we have in the upper bracket. MLT, the newest team formed specifically for LCQ. Neon's finding the right moment here in LCQ to get that dub. And you said it yourself, that overtime win. When we saw Yamroll get such an incredible ace clutch, basically, that was just the writing on the wall and blew all the expectations aside. And given the fact that some of our favorites, the Hero KDA and Diva Topaz, are in the lower bracket right now, they have a chance that they can be eliminated by Nana and Friends and Nyx Husai respectively. They're gonna have to face off against each other if that's how the bracket works out for them. And who knows, it just really goes to show that some of the powerhouses that we already established so far, one of them isn't gonna make it to Elite.
Absolutely, but I mean, the rematch storyline, how cool would that be? Absolutely love it to see it. And also, we didn't mention this now, but I also did want to just shout out the number of teams that we got to register for this LCQ, because we had 38 teams that registered to play in the Swiss stage for this LCQ. But guys, we're going to take a look at the lineups for both these rosters, starting out with the Hero KDA, Aisling, Hannah, Lulu, Snooki, as well as a Strawberry Bag. I mean, these girls, they have fought so hard, especially Open 2 as well as Open 3. They started out really strong coming out of the Swiss, I think 6-0, but then they 2-1 bot on LCQ day number 1, and then just barely missing out on the upper bracket final spot yesterday to Neons in that 12-14. And I gotta say, I just kind of feel like today, this first match is going to be a test of their mental, right? About whether that 12-14 sets them back a bit, or if they're going to be out for blood coming into today's first series.
Yeah, it's a perfect point there, Jenny, because it's really their mental that was cracked because of those last 2 rounds in overtime. But on the other hand, Nana and Friends are still surviving and are still thriving. If you notice, some of these players very familiar in the open circuit that we had already. You got Izzy, Cupcake, Nuki, Sendari, as well as Angela. And from what I remember, some of these players came from that Capybara gang squad from Open 1, Cappy G, by the way, and they formed up to make a team called Savage. They did okay in Open 2 and Open 3 in the Swiss stage. Wasn't enough though to qualify, and eventually, now that they're as Nana and Friends, they have made their way to the LCQ. In my eyes, really, when I look at Nana and Friends, it has to be Izzy. She's just an incredible killjoy player, top fragging consistently for the squad. And if this can be Nana and Friends' day to suddenly surprise Hero KDA, it might be up to what Izzy, what Cupcake can really do in this matchup.
Yep, for sure. I mean, Izzy, just what a huge player for this team is their IGL as well. And there's been so much debate online this entire year, pretty much since Valorant came out, right? Just about how hard it is to IGL as well as play on the team. The fact that you're IGL and you're also like one of the star players on the team, it just, girl, I don't know how you do that, but she's putting up those numbers. She's making it happen. As you're saying, you know, they've had a couple of mixed bag results from Open 1 to Open 3. I think they've had anywhere from 8th place to like 14th, 17th-ish place finishes this entire year. But now that the top 6 teams are out of the competition and already through to Elite, you know, this is definitely their chance to snag one of those last spots.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting because if I remember correctly also, back in Swiss Stage Open 2, Hero KDA and Savage, which is pretty much Nana and Friends now, they did face off. They had a game that went 19-17, Jenny. An overtime that far on Haven. So there is a bit of that familiarity. Hero KDA took that dub. And as of right now, of course, they're still walking into this lower bracket matchup as that initial first seed. We're going to be getting our maps though, Ascent, Split, and Fracture. So what do you think about this one? Because I'm really eyeing that Fracture map later on into the pool.
Yeah, I think Fracture, if I want to say that if it does get to that map 3 Fracture, then Nana and friends better have cooked up something in the bag, because Fracture is the Hero KDA's most played map. It's probably why Nana and friends, they were out of bans by the end, so they're leaving it to map number 3. If it does get there, I think we're all gonna favor the Hero KDA if it does come down to that. But Ascent makes a lot of sense. I believe it is the Hero KDA's second most played map and Nana and Friends' most played map as well. So it's definitely comfort that both of these teams have gone for. They do play pretty similar compositions on Ascent as well. So there is a potential for that mirror matchup, I think, unless Nana and Friends want to go for that Astra. But it is looking like it's going to be Ascent and Split map 1 and 2, both smaller maps. And yeah, I think both these teams have probably put in a lot of practice on this.
Yeah,
what do you think?
especially at Ascent map, right? There's gonna be a lot of familiarity for both Nana Friends and the Hero KDA. I think where the advantage happens here for the Hero KDA is playing that split map. We haven't really seen that too much from Nana and Friends. I think they played it like once during the LCQ qualifiers, so the experience that the Hero KDA has, and of course the firepower, that's where they can get the advantage. Moving into Fracture also, something I wanted to point out was, even though we did see the Hero KDA lose to Neons, it was really just that collapse by overtime. It was such a winnable position. They were incredible every single time we would see them get those plays, and especially what we would see from Hannah on the fade. She was one of the sharpest shots on the server yesterday, and for the Hero KDA, if they are able to manipulate the momentum of these games, that's where they can just pretty much set the tone moving forward in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hannah, she was so sharp. I'm pretty sure that the FSL Twitter clipped it and posted that highlight on Twitter last night when I was just like watching through all those clips at night. But it's great that you brought up how, that is going to be the map number 3 for Fracture. That was what they lost on yesterday, because we're going to talk about mental. If you're going to be in that elimination match situation, which is even more high pressure than the situation you were in yesterday when you weren't playing for elimination and once again down to the wire on Fracture, I don't know, man, that would have to be the point where the Hero KDA have to step it up and prove their mettle. I'm super excited to get there. I love that you brought up Split as well for that map number 2, because if map number 1 on Ascent is all about that comfort pick, then map number 2 is going to be that map that neither of these two teams have played all that much, right? We don't have a lot of stats for Nana and Friends on Split. The Hero KDA, they've also played Split something like less than 10 times competitively if you don't count day 1 and day 2. So by far and away, Fracture, Haven, Ascent are their most played maps, and then the rest for the Hero KDA, they really try not to play as much as possible. It's kind of one of the things that, if you're playing in Game Changers, that tends to happen, because max we play that best of 3 series, and then if you do get to finals, then you play that best of 5. So I think a lot of teams, tops, they practice like 3 maps. So, Split map 2 is for sure looking like it's going to be a toss-up. It looks like it's going to be exciting.
No, exactly that, Jenny. I'm glad you pointed that out in terms of the format, just because the Hero KDA, they've been throwing curveballs on their map traps this LCQ playoffs run. We're giving the example of Split right now. I'll say yesterday, when they brought out Pearl, they never played that map with their core like this. It was the old Indonesian core that played it back in Open 1, and suddenly, wait, they're picking it, wait, they're winning. Okay, that's looking very interesting. But now, given the fact that they're in these high pressure situations over onto the lower bracket, them going for a small gamble on the Split, I think what they're banking on right now is the unfamiliarity for their opponents, for Nana and Friends. And we've seen so many times here for the Hero KDA, how do they get the wins in these games? By going on early streaks during the first half. Whether the attacking or the defending side, they set that tempo really well. They're one of the strongest teams that come out of the gates. And besides what Hannah can do, I look at Strawberry Bagel and her potential. She has been absolutely incredible here as well. We've seen so many strong Sentinel players here in LCQ, and with Bagel just being so primed and pristine with the shots, with the timings, it's one extra factor that the Hero KDA uses to just overwhelm any opponent.
Yeah, and talking about that overwhelming, that's I really think what their strategy is probably going to be coming into that map number 2, where when you pick a map that is unfamiliar on both sides, or where you're hoping that the enemy team has maybe as much or as little, you know, whichever way the pendulum swings, practice as your side do on that, then you're kind of going to hope that you win those aim duels. You're kind of hoping that it's going to be a skill diff that will win you those maps. And when you want to look for a squad that has the potential to skill diff the other team, there is so much hero firepower on the hero KDA. What do we think?
I mean, it's part of the name, right? And one more thing, Ascent is a map that these two did play each other back in Open 2. It was the hero KDA who took that. And moving forward, I think the biggest concern right now here for Nana and friends is if they're able to weather that first half storm. I've already talked about it. Honestly, Nana and friends, they can be the same kind of team. Where you got Izzy, you got Copycat, who is basically Nana, right? She's the one who said, I want the team named after me, but my other name. And given the fact that they took Ascent versus Be My Team, we saw how strong they were on the defense, running that KO, running that Astra together. It's just really about them stopping what the hero KDA is planning, because when we look at the hero KDA, on the other hand, they rely so much on what Hana and Olulu can do just to provide that intel, and it's just gonna go down to the battle of those initiators, find as much value as can be, and maybe even vie for things like mid as much as possible.
Yeah, and talking about Ascent as well, we were saying that both of these teams tend to play similar compositions. The Hero KDA as well as Nana and friends do play with a very similar 4-core of Jet, KO, Killjoy, as well as Sova. However, Nana and friends sometimes switch it up with Astra instead of Omen, but the Hero KDA tends to usually stick with that Omen to round out that 5-com. How do we feel about this difference between like the Astra and the Omen? What do you think?
Well, you're running, it's really just all about the KO and the Sova itself, right? Because if you're running the Astra, one strength that you have there is you can actually play a lot further and maybe anchor one side and still help out with the other using the stars. When you're running the Omen, the paranoia is such a powerful tool. So in terms of executes, I do feel like for Nana and friends, they're gonna have a little bit of the lack in terms of speed, because they're not gonna have that immediate blind. They're gonna rely on the flashes courtesy of Nuki, look to find that opening. And on the other hand, the hero KDA, if you're gonna be meeting the Astra and if you can actually cross through anyway, then what will the stars do against their push? That's the timing that really will boil down to becoming the win condition for both of these teams right now, Jenny. And as we get our agent select, it's perfectly read.
I'm a prophet!
The Astra, the Omen, apparently the crystal ball is with our host today.
Wow. Turns out I do have a job, Dax.
Congrats. Welcome back from LA.
My one job. Thanks, guys. But yeah, it's going to be the mirror matchup. Jed, Killjoy, Sova, as well as the KO. But the Omen on the side of Hero KDA, and then the Astra for the side of Nana and friends. So pretty similar compositions all around. And I think before we get into this map number 1, Dax, I gotta ask you for your predictions. How do you think this series is gonna go? I can go first, if that helps.
Okay, fine.
I can go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah?
The floor is all yours.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out for a second. I'm gonna go 2-1 to the Hero KDA, but only if Nana and friends win map 1.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Nana and friends, this is an absolute must-win scenario. If they lose this, the stats don't really help them moving into split, moving into fracture, and really the big matchup to watch for right now, besides of course the two controllers, Izzy versus Strawberry Bagel. Who will get more impact? We're gonna find out very soon.
Alright guys, well that's it for me on the desk. I'm gonna toss it over to the lovely Tash Bunny, who will be casting this series with Dax. Tash and Dax, over to you guys.
Oh, this is super exciting! Dax and Tash is back on the desk.
I'm still here, by the way, you know.
Are you, you know, have a desk? Now you have a desk.
It's L-shaped, you know? Are you trying to say, are you trying to change the spelling of my name from Dax to Dask? I guess I'm the table now.
Yes,
well,
you are the table.
Look,
Okay.
Tash, we're gonna set it straight. This is a big matchup because you have the Hero KDA in one side,
Right.
Nana and friends on the other.
Right.
Elimination time. It's going down to the wire, and given that it's LCQ, this is truly their last chance to try and make it to Elites.
It is. Now, I think that for Hero KDA, we saw them play in Open 3. Sorry, Open 2. They didn't make it to Open 3. And I think that for the Hero KDA...
Yes?
Sorry. Anyways, I got super distracted just now. Anyways, coming back here.
Good morning.
So yeah, sorry about that. So coming back here for the Hero KDA, I think their lineup is definitely a team that has some superpowers. They are definitely a team that have competed before. They've played together. And the fun fact about this team is that everyone flew into Singapore to play together, to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And think about it. Some of these gals are from the Philippines. So if you're a Filipino,
So you're like repping that?
Like I wish, or as we like to say, sana all.
Sana all. Yes,
You-
that's right. That's
You
right.
remember that? You remember that we taught you?
Yeah,
Ah.
I would say Tara.
No, not here, not here.
I would say that there. I would say
Not
that
on
there.
broadcast. The
Not
two
on
magic
broadcast.
words.
But you know what?
Ah.
Tara broadcast.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's go, guys.
let's
Into
go,
the
guys.
game.
Into the
Lower
game.
bracket. It's time, and the Hero KDA on the defense. Nana and friends looking to go for the attack. Top mid, though, to begin with. A slower start here for Nana and friends as they try to poke at least over towards the mid side. Sender here with the dart, and well, as of right now, Nana and friends looking for a default to begin with.
It's gonna be the weaker side on A, B. Really two members forward. They're taking their time getting on the side here. The smokes are down. Ashling moving to the backside, waiting to reconvene with the teammates. I think it's a really good hold coming through. You do have two on one side, but no commit quite yet. I think that if anything, NF is just still trying to feel it out.
Yeah, they're stacking here though for the Hero KDA. Prepared perhaps for that B take, and Nana and friends just crawling now towards mid. You see the Astra of Cupcake. That's going to be big value with the stars, especially if she can find a gravity well or two over on the opposite end. Olulu waiting here by Garden. Nebula being set on up. Flash at the ready. And the Hero KDA looking to go for a poke perhaps. A peek here, but through the smoke instead. It's Cupcake with the kill. Bagel now down in hell. Angelo finding another target. Nana and friends, their patience bearing fruit. They've already gotten so many kills so far. It's 5v2 as Iceland fights back. Second one there courtesy of Bagel, but in the smoke it's going to be chaos that works out in favor of NF.
Honestly, what an answer from Nana and friends. I think they did play this game, this map yesterday, and I really think that they learned a lot from this. Nana and friends have been a team that has been, I think, a little bit more into that default heavy sort of comp coming forward. They love this sort of game. They take their time, they suss out B, get that information, understand that okay, we might be on the I would say the stronger side. Let's go and pivot through mid and then straight into A. And even though you had Olulu holding with that flash, what they did was just wait for Olulu to shoot. They answer back and pick her off, and then suddenly it was just explosive onto the side.
Yeah, and just that's what Nana and Friends is all about. They have so much synergy, especially when they're all formed up and ready to go. We saw them play from the short angle just to push into the site, isolate especially, fights towards the hell angle. And NF here, they're going to be running the Bulldogs. A Phantom also here for Yuki, so an already interesting anti-eco. They're investing heavy here, Dash.
The turret, but unfortunately they're already on to B. Stopped by immediately Strawberry Bagel. Does not let her shot. Yuki will be following up, and it's already a force actually with that Phantom. They are going aggressive and they want to snowball this.
Yeah, at the very least, NF, they have the firepower. Olulu picking up Bulldog, though, along the way. And now main taken here by the Hero KDA. NF, though, getting the plant going. Yuki waiting for any kind of contact. Cloudburst, though, into play. Allows the Hero KDA to go for the cross. And this might be an overwhelm on the center if ever. They're still keeping tabs of the CT side, though. Angela on the board. And it's NF now with the advantage. On site, Olulu versus Sendari. Big win onto the objective itself. And she goes with another one. Snooki also with the kill, and the Hero KDA, they turn things around so quickly. These guns picked up scrounge so heftily by the Hero KDA.
And you know what's even more crazy? The fact that Nana and friends bought a Phantom that round too.
Thank you.
They're crying. Nana and friends are crying. Their economy broken at least for the next 1.5, 2 rounds.
Oh no, this is just schoolyard bullying,
Oh,
Sash.
yeah,
It's,
at this
it's
point-
not just a thrifty. It's a
is a
thank you, thrifty.
Let's be real here, Dax. In the last few days, I've been
Mm-hmm.
on broadcast. There are some teams like Militant, like Knicks. They do so well on the eco round too. It's honestly illegal.
You're making the laws now, Sash.
I'm laying down the laws. If
He's
you
laying down
win
the laws.
pistol, you're supposed to win the next round after. I don't make the rules. But as we go into this game, the one-way setup, Olulu moving back here, trying to provide support onto the mid side, leaving Aisling alone. But I think she'll be okay with this one way.
Look, there are no rules as game changers. Exactly that, right? We're changing how the game is expected. And now as NF is the one on the eco instead. Angela moving forward, trying not to make noise towards mid. But alarm bot spots her immediately. So exposed now. The hero KDA thinking about swinging towards mid if ever. But we've seen this so many times already here, Tash. And just how NF plays Ascent, they love to use that timer to begin the map.
They take their time to suss it out. Good default coming through, but that tap from Olulu does get answered back. Sanderi, momentum from yesterday, still very much there. Recon doesn't tap onto anyone. Some taps out though, Angela. Already making it 2-3. A spray from Aisling. She holds her ground, does not move. Manages to dodge the shock darts at all. Paranoia out, no follow-up, but she gets to Hannah on the other side as well. As Sanderi, isolated here, will at least try and get the orb. Dies for it.
No way. You already know that Shock Dart had her number. And the hero KDA, this is the heroics that we expect from them all throughout the LCQ run so far. You have Olulu, who's won the sharp shot, sure, but Aisling as well. The biggest reason why it went to overtime on Fracture yesterday. She can handle any kind of pressure. And if you're playing somewhere like main there, the entry towards the site, you have to deal with both the left and the right angle. Watch the door, watch the main, and watch what she can do with these 4 takedowns already.
Yeah, fun fact for Olulu. Only started IGLing in Open 3. And Hannah has been sharing with me that she's very, very proud of her. Decided that Olulu could be the IGL because she's apparently the loudest in the team.
That makes sense. So if ever we're playing right, Sash, I think you should always be IGLing. In the end, though, it's the hero KDA now with the operator in hand. Olulu will find out to Angela. Aisling also on the board. And Aisling yet again!
Oh,
She
wow.
has her in game, and the round is already over. The anchors here from the hero KDA. Strong corners to play from.
Honestly, good gamble since they put most of their players onto A. And how exactly they played this starts off with Olulu with that first contact, and she does immediately have help with her teammates. And I think honestly, all eyes on her Aisling. I think from last round to this round, she has been so good at standing her ground. She can hold on to one particular angle and look at and clear 3 different areas at the same time.
Yeah, she has so much firepower right
She
now. The
does.
hero KDA, such strong mechanics as a team, and I feel like throughout the year, right, they have been working on that teamwork, figuring out what configuration works best for them. NF though now, they go for the flash, keeping Snowkey at bay. It's gonna be a struggle for her to get out. Moves over onto the lane instead. Scanned up though, and Yuki have an inkling of what's going on the other side. Does NF there push this? Will back off for the time being with the lesser buy.
Whew, Aisling. Great first pick. As the other members of NNF, not necessarily in the healthiest of conditions, but look at their ultimates. Nuki, Sanderi, this could be huge if they do manage to time it right. Strawberry Bagel, though, watching this cross very well, gets spots out, but she does get a spray. 1, 2, and 3! Beautifully done! With 1 HP to go, she has to be careful moving forward. Fortunately, does not meet with everyone else. Sanderi all alone with only just a sheriff in hand. We've seen miracles happen with her sheriff. She can tap hits, but can she tap 5? Might be a little bit too much to ask for.
Yeah, it's difficult. She's just crawling here by this point. Just amazing what
30
Bagel can do.
seconds left.
So consistent. Such a stellar
Look
add-on
at this
here for the hero
cross.
KDA. The crossfire
does it.
set, sure, but Bagel is ready anyway. With 1 HP, she gets 4 heads, and well, the hero KDA, they do the same.
The hero in KDA stands for Hannah eats roti orange.
I was thinking if you can make it anything bread related just for Strawberry Bagel, but no.
Roti is
Appar-
bread, hello?
Okay, no. I'm like, why orange roti? Strawberry bagel.
What do you want to
Chocolate
put the
donuts.
O? Oh, what's the O stand for?
Oh.
Oatmeal?
Well, seems like Tash, you want your breakfast to be here in this game.
Yeah.
A bit of a timeout though called for Nana and Friends as we're just getting our bearings, and I do feel like for Nana and Friends they're just so red right now in
Yeah.
terms of how they're playing this pace. It's a bit one-dimensional, that they're playing a bit slower, that the hero KDA is the one just able to find the timings instead, get that mid control, and from what we've seen so far, big step-ups from Ice Lane, big step-ups from Strawberry Bagel. This is what I was fearing for any team facing off against the hero KDA. Once the hero KDA gets this big win streak, then it just keeps going and going and going for the first half.
But look at the amount of ultimates that's been staggered by Nana and Friends, and I honestly think that was a very good timeout. They really need to figure out like how exactly they want to approach this. Are they going to just let her rip, let all 4 ults out at the same time? Are they going to try and chain it, is the question. So for Nana and Friends, I believe they are more reactive than proactive. They suss out the situation, they take their time, but this gives the hero KDA so much space, and that's exactly what Snowkey is doing. She takes up the entire side of mid. Angela, already on the site, nearly paths onto the site, takes her time and clears out the entire area. The rotations coming in from the hero KDA might be a problem, but it's not going to be too much of an issue. They're going to break into the door, but the choke points might be a little bit too much to handle, but they do have an answer, which is the lockdown.
Yeah, the example is set, and Snowkey does even more so. A lesson now to be learned perhaps here for Naf, as Ice Lane gets on the board as well. Snowkey still keeping going. There you go with the lockdown as well, providing space.
Oh,
Ultimate's
she has
already
lineups.
applied, but the lineups, you mentioned it, Tash. Watch the skies because Lightning is looking to strike, gets the hit and gets the kill. Izzy on the board, making it 2v2. The push though there from the hero KDA. Hannah holds it down, and in the end, it's still the heroics here from the hero KDA. Despite NF having the position there towards main, it's still the hero KDA with these wins.
Oh my god, I thought it was over for Hannah. Nana and Friends had such a great crossfire coming around, but that flick from Hannah was just a little bit too much. Timing just not on their side. But you really gotta give it to the hero KDA because they were just so proactive in having Snowkey take up the entirety of mid. They knew exactly where Nana and Friends were rushing through. They knew exactly how to do those retakes, and they knew how exactly to play with those ultis. And with that, despite Nana and Friends having 4 ultimates, only 1 was used. I feel like they didn't have enough time to fully utilize their abilities.
Absolutely. They're already dead before anything else, and once the hero KDA force that contact, that's where they get the advantage. This is why this team was flawless back in the Swiss stage. They are just such an overwhelming force to deal with, and Nafir is learning firsthand. So they're clearing out the line for now. Bladestorm is ready for Angela to double hold though, anchoring here for the hero KDA. Got Alulu and Snowkey ready yet again, and they're really making sure that wine is emptied. Bottle drops down, and Snowkey wants to go for the fight instead. Huge suppress. The blades are gone for the time being here, Tash, stalling even more so and allowing a flank to happen.
I love this cross from Tree, just to really give a little bit more space for Snowkey if anyone were to push in. But I think what Angela wants to do here is just dash to the side as it goes down here. She rushes through, but look at the amount of util dumps onto her. Sindari does have her back. Alulu is down. Snowkey answers back, but Eyes has also Yuki. Yuki for 2. Yuki goes big. Hannah with the up. Can she get one more? No, she doesn't. And now it's down to Hannah once again. With this up, it's going to be incredibly tough for her to actually play this. 3-on-1. Is she actually going to answer, or is she going to save? Is the question. I don't think she wants to do that. Shock dart. By some time, she has the recon, breaks the turret, clears down.
She did pick
Heaven.
up the rifle, right? Oh,
Yeah, she
oh,
does.
no.
And now another shock dart. The lineups come through, clears out one side at the very least, chips the HP just for a little bit one more time. They're spraying out the top side, but time running out. They know exactly where she is. That recon from Sundari saves the day. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, not quite.
Yeah, well, this time around, it's Nan and Friends who get such a strong execute. They make their way towards the site, yes, and we've seen so many times that if they still hold on to a main, that's where you really have to watch out for them. Given the threat on site is one thing, but just their mid-range gameplay has been something that they've been relying on so far. Lineups are one thing, but when they time the peaks and when they go for the hold on the archway, it's enough for them to win out those post plans.
Wondering, as soon as Nana finds an answer, I'm wondering what the hero KDA would do. Would they just keep doing the same thing over and over, or would there be a readjustment? Yuki spots out. Will be taking the time. Angela Lofe playing in the backside here, playing so long, understanding the use of the rifle and just taking her time. But the hero KDA only allows them to get that 2 picks as Noki answers back.
I mean, this is another thing that Hero KDA can do. They've had enough playing the anchors. Might as well go for the fight. They're confident anyway. But Sendari will humble Snowkey.
Last
Hannah on the
player
board, sure.
standing.
Sendari again with another one. Bagel now left a 1v1. We've seen multiple times how impressive her Odin has been throughout this tournament. And now she's ready to let it rip. Sendari, though, able to stay away from the stray shots.
She's running.
And she's running. She's rotating, trying to bring that spike towards A instead.
Just running for her life, trying to get out the side. She knows exactly where Bagel was gonna be. So Bagel, not leaving anything to chance, coming through mid, clearing out too sure, but she already pretty much knows as timing comes. So timing looks like for both teams on time. Her bots are online. Will it get spotted out? Oh, barely misses her actually. I think she knows. She's gonna break the door. She knows
30
exactly where
seconds
she is. She needs to get this pre-fire right. The pre-aim is going to be massive. They know exactly where she is. Doesn't matter if the recon is there. Gonna have to find a different way. Is she gonna make this a fake? Oh yes, she is.
She went for the Aldrone as well as the tap.
There she
Dangerous,
goes, the
but-
pre-fire. And what's happening? A little bit of a dancey dance. But Sundari wins in the end.
Yeah, so Dari just plays that so patiently. Not only does she try and psych out Strawberry Bagel with the spike itself, the Aldrone look for intel as well. And while the Hero KDA, it was such a strong start for them. How they went for that beaming control, they still need to be careful against overheating. One team that we've seen for the Hero KDA so far is when they get those kills, they want to roll over the opposition.
They do.
Nana and friends, they just hold things back and just say, okay, cool, peek again, we dare you.
I think it's a good read by Nana and friends because they're understanding that they have rifles. And how can we punish them? Playing very, very back. How can you get full value? Here comes the Del Commando rushing through. Angela already at door, closing it down. The switch will buy some time at the very least with that utility. Bagel hasn't moved at all. Gets that pick. Beautifully done. On to the KO. One more time. A jump down. She plays with these corners so beautifully. Does get shot down by Eyes and will be going for that revive onto the KO. But Snowkey is not done. She gets the clicks onto the knives. She rushes out, spots one out, pops the head. There's still Eyes to worry about in a 1v2 situation. Where are you gonna look as Ashley seals the round?
Absolute shivers there from that round. The Hero KDA, they just rely yet again on how strong they are in the stone wall. And effectively, right, one thing that they do so well is figure out what can give them the time to isolate these duels. Strawberry Bagel had so many chances to just go for these 1v1s, moving and weaving in both house to just find Angela, to find the Sova, put down the KO as well. And from this point on, that's where they get the advantage. The firepower unreal from the Hero KDA, the anchor potential from Bagel even better.
Just great movement was Bagel, honestly. Snowkey spots out mid. Does give away her position, but thankfully Olulu not quite found. Wow! Through the smoke. Not quite sure if that recon actually did scan her.
I think the biggest concern here for NF, though, is when we look at them, as a team, they need to flush out the Hero KDA more, and now they're doing so in this round. Humbled from the last. Hannah, though, holding mid still against Nuki. So as NF do get a bit of control in terms of the numbers, they navigate towards A instead.
Eyes just taking her time. They sussed out the area, got Ashling. Ooh, does get the pick. Paranoia, just to give her a little bit of space, does get out alive. Unpunished. A little bit of hesitation coming here from Nana and friends, and I think yesterday one of the biggest downfalls was this indecisiveness to really make that move. And Bagel with the pre-fire, good timing, takes out some dairy.
I mean, she's brought back the Odin, and from this
She
point
hasn't
on,
let go of the Odin, let's be real here.
She loves to use that gun. She's actually really so stellar
Small
at it.
girl, big gun.
Well, I guess that's the way to go, but now there's going to find fast Complicate, and Izzy do go for the kills, and Izzy is okay, we see you. That's a Bulldog, by the way, and she breaks the back of the Hero KDA.
Honestly, my eyes are on both these killjoys. Strawberry Bagel, so good at holding up down the area with that Odin. But Eyes has been so good with these multi-frags, with those lurks, with those holes.
I'm just impressed here for what NAF can do at a moment's notice. Here for Nana and friends, once they set up on site, it's actually winnable in terms of the aim duels. And while the Hero KDA, their biggest tendency is to take those kind of fights. If NAF can keep up with it, then they're not going to need to flush out the angles. But in the last round, we saw the best of both worlds. Find the first picks thanks to utility that shot through the smoke, one of the biggest examples of that. And later on, just the utter confidence to stare down an Odin. As of right now, it's the Hero KDA who has to wonder what can break the morale of NF.
I think if anything, on the defensive side, the Hero KDA wants to try and score as many rounds as they can, deny them that 4 score. Going into the second half with a 4 is, honestly, I wouldn't say the worst way to go. Honestly, I think it's safe. And they want to try and smash that. They want to try and get the last 2 rounds if possible. Sorry, the next round. This round, the next one. But Bagel, only a lockdown. Retakes might be a thing. Perhaps buy time, denial. But Nana and friends in the greatest situation to seal this round. Hunter's Fury, great to just clear out or even deny the post plant. Have the lockdown as well as the Cosmic Divide.
Absolutely. I mean, they have the ultimates. They can just go for the push also with a solid setup with the Cosmic Divide. But with the confidence of those guns, and dashing now towards the switch. Bagel though breaking the doorway towards market. Needs a second clip for it. And as it shatters, it's NF already prepared for any angle onto the B side. So the plant should go down. The Hero KDA flanking instead to try and play towards main.
I think Bagel kind of has suspicion there is someone playing very close, but look at the weapons they have in hand. Not the best weapons. They will be utilizing that lockdown just to buy space. Will it be actually respected by the Hero KDA? Yes, it will. Star Bagel playing very close though. Angela, see nothing quite yet. But immediately here comes the first contact. Spots her out. Angela knows exactly that they're coming out here. Angela has stopped, but Snowkey with the taps will be answered by Sundari. And now it's just getting so very sketchy. Ashton with the head taps finds Nuki, finds Sundari, but Cupcake saves the round. What a round, but a close one despite that.
Now she keeps it from crumbling, but you mentioned it, Sash. The fact that Nana and friends were absolutely pressured, backed against the walls, staying onto the site just like that. And instead, we saw the Hero KDA pick them apart bit by bit. This is going to be big for this next round just because it wasn't the best economy for Nana and friends anyway. Moving into the last one, Cupcake though, huge picks, allows her now still to have that Cosmic Divide. Hunter's Fury ready here for NAF as well. And I do wonder, with the Hero KDA having the guns, what kind of plays they want to make here. Some tendencies, though, very apparent already. Aisling loves to play towards main. Bagel with the Odin towards both house. And if NF have learned their lessons, maybe they have an idea of what's going on the other side.
Nana and friends, what they want to do here is to punish any aggression coming out from Hero KDA. But this time around, I can start to see that the Hero KDA's momentum start to slow down. They're saying, yeah, we got punished 3 rounds in a row for going aggressive. And now we're just gonna play on site. They actually stacked 4 on A. But what they're gonna do here is gonna put 2 in the middle, just to really suss out if anyone were to come in through mid. Because the mid side, I'm quite surprised that they're leaving it quite open.
Yeah, I mean, they're just hanging around instead and playing a bit more passive here, perhaps because of what's been happening so far, that NF does find the answers.
You want to find it?
Thanks to the likes of Nuki as well as Angela making that space. Fragment lob though, and here comes the lockdown too. So the Hero KDA really trying to goad NF to come their way, and now they're gonna stall it for as long as they can.
I think if anything, Nana and friends don't want to fight this. If anything, they want to just pivot off. Just quickly rotate toward A. Is Eyes already close? But look at the number of people already on the A side. Olulu might be caught off guard here. A flash come out here, and she does land it. Hannah also finds one more and manages to clear close. One more pop flash coming through here. Nuki does spot out one more, but will be stopped by Olulu. It is just falling apart for Sundari right now. She can't save the day. 7-5 will be the halftime.
I mean, the Hero
Switching
KDA,
sides.
they just set it up so well. We're gonna toss it over though to the panel. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Why, hello panel.
Hello.
You're back.
I guess I'm doing everything today.
I was waiting for it. I was like, is he gonna let Tash do the toss, or like is
No.
it just gonna be all right, okay? So 1.5 minutes, Dax. Look like things were cooked for NF after they won the first pistol, and then it was a 5-1. They got the Hero Phantom round 2, dropped that round as well, but managed to end things 7-5. Pretty respectable half. What do we think going into the next one? Do we think NF have what it takes to close out the half?
I do feel like here for NF, they have a chance still in this game, despite that they're the ones a little bit down to the scoreline. We've seen them be a bit resilient in those firefights, but the problem is when Nana and friends are absolutely dictated by the Hero KDA in terms of the pace. We see how strong the setups have been for the Hero KDA, just absolute standout plays from Iceling as well as Strawberry Bagel, and it's really been the game plan here for the Hero KDA. Rely on what they know, rely on what they're strong at, and the tendencies, it gave them that buffer from the first half.
So very similar composition as we were talking about, it's just going to be Astra for the side of Nana and friends. Do we see this making a big difference at all, if any?
I think when we swap on over, the Astra's going to be looking for the value of the stars as much as possible. We've seen it be useful for the cross, but beyond that, perhaps Gravity Wells, Nova Pulses, that can help them out.
All right, well, Tash, I'm going to go ahead and give you your partner back. Guys, take it away.
Well,
I'm just being bounced around by this point, aren't
at this
I?
point, you're just a tennis ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and Valorant is my tennis court.
Wow, that was very deep.
Oh, I write poems in Starbucks when I have time,
No, you're right. Poems at Gelato. When you have time.
Gelato.
Yeah,
Well,
we're on a scent after all.
What's a place? Oh, I don't think you have it. We have a gelato place called Amici.
Wow.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's fancy,
Gotta bring me, you know?
See you.
See you in
here.
Manila.
Yeah, see you in Manila for what else will come our way. Anyway, though, second half's here. It's Nana and friends on the defense, and as the panel, aka me, was talking about that Astra, I want to see more of the concussions. I want to see more of the stall potential from it, and perhaps here from Cupcake, this is where she's gonna find more value playing on the defensive side.
I'm honestly quite surprised at the performance of these two teams, especially when they run these sheriffs. Both teams have been incredibly sharp, and we've seen thrifties on both sides, but again, with the Hero KDA, just trying to suss out the area. They have an idea that this might be the weaker round, but getting past that util is going to be the first mountain. Whether it be the Killjoy utility, the Nano Swarms, the Alarm Bot, and even those smokes. These chokes are very annoying to deal with, but no one pushing up through mid.
Mountain climbing dash at the ready, but the expedition is set towards B instead. Sendori, though, holding down Speedway well, stops a little dead in her tracks, and another one bites the dust as Sendari is ready for everything and anything all at once.
Wow.
Izzy also setting it up well. They just had that boathouse to peek out from, and as Iceling is all alone, isolates one sure versus Cupcake, but a big task ahead of her. It's 1v4 and the spike out of her hands.
It's gonna be very hard. Look at the setup they've already have. And they have pretty much a good idea where she's gonna be. Timid's heart gonna become another player.
Oh.
Surprised they haven't planted quite yet. They're just trying to wait here. She does get Timitar out of the way. One down. Can he go for two? She gets two already. One by one, the numbers will dwindle, but one tap from Yuki is all she needs.
I mean, they kept tabs on that spike. As soon as it was dropped, Nan and the friends, they're happy to be like, okay, let's just defend this part of the map and let's call it a day. But Centauri, she's been one of the standouts here for Nana and friends so far. One of the most efficient players we've seen all throughout the LCQ. And truthfully, the Nana and friends roster, it really feels like as a team that they amplify their talents alongside each other. It's a standard that they set as an absolute unit, and biggest example so far, Sendari, Yuki, you can rely on them.
That's right. And I think that it's really important for them to make sure that if one teammate gets shut down, the others can step up, and that's exactly what's happening. Angela has been really good at taking up space. Unfortunately, she can't do more than that. Just immediately getting shutting down by the likes of Bagel, by the likes of Ashling or Lulu. So what can they do? Just try to slap on that band-aid and just try and mend it as best they can, and they've been doing phenomenal.
Look, Tash, it's not just the power of friendship.
What
It's
is
the
it?
power of teamwork.
Oh, is it?
It
Yeah.
is. Don't worry.
But you know, when you
They're-
talk about friendship, I really want to highlight the Hero KDA. Like, I feel like when they're having fun, it really shows in their gameplay.
Yeah, I think they're one of the most emotional teams also we have here. Once they're feeling it, they just keep getting the wins. Oh, we're gonna talk about our friendship task, but right now, it's all
my
smiles
God.
here for Nav. Cupcake Cake is set, the Sheriff is stellar, 3 even along the way, and what can Strawberry Bagel do? Unfortunately for her, it's
Nothing.
best before this time. Nothing indeed, we're tied up.
Yep, 77. Good equalizer, honestly. But I really think that for the Hero KDA, I feel like they are just... I understand this is an eco, but if you saw from round number 1, I just feel like they're not really taking their time to suss out what's going on. Mid-side, find out which area or which side has, is the weaker side or the stronger side. They don't really have a game plan or an idea on how to break this defense, and I'm wondering how many rounds can they give before they finally find the answer.
I mean, the rifles are ready, so at least this is where the Hero KDA usually step on up. But that's the biggest concern right now. Nana and friends, their positioning so far here on the defense has been stellar. And the fact that they have so many utilities here to anchor down these sites, that Astra is going to be such a big component for the stall. And case in point, the smoke is there, keeping Bagel at bay.
Shock Dart, just to be clear. Buy time if possible, both used. Aldrone, the only utility available for Sundari, but that hasn't really stopped her. Sharpshooting has been the name of her game, and she's been incredible at anchoring sites alongside her teammate. But look at this slow rotations coming through. They're already sussing out coming up from tree, takes out Snooki, and there you go. No more Julius. Bye-bye. Does know that Lulu is there, and she already knows that it's going to be a crossfire from the side of Garden, and she'll be pushing out Aisling, going aggressive. Does she know there's someone in the corner? She just taps! Nuki takes her out of the way. The paranoia out just to clear out, putting down that smokes, and they're going to immediately get onto the site, and finally they break through.
Absolutely. Caught napping there for Yuki. Gives a chance here for the Hero KDA, but the scan is succulent, and Angela finding Aisling along the way gives the advantage back here to NF. Bagel though holding still by tree fragment right now for the stall, but keep an eye out of anyone else from the side of NAF to play from Garden, to play from the spawn. Hannah will find onto Angela. It's the Hero KDA trying to keep their opposition at bay, but yet again, the numbers in favor of NF are doing such a good job to have the advantage, but Hannah so sharp and at the ready again to go for another one. 3 for Hannah! And it's well done by Sindari in response. The Bulldog wallbang even just reading where her opponent was stuck at.
Who needs the Vandal when the Bulldog is doing so much value, at least for Nana and friends? We've seen it happen, 3 times this particular map. Now, Hannah did a spectacular job of holding, honestly. She has really good micro adjustments coming through, but I think that situation, she didn't have enough time to readjust, and everyone knows where she is at that point. And this situation, losing that round is gonna be devastating. Giving that bonus to Nana and friends and losing that lead, it's definitely rough.
Yeah, it's just falling apart here for the Hero KDA. And Nana and friends giving a taste of their own medicine here to the Hero KDA. This defensive hold is looking to be a potential snowball. So many times we've seen the response here from Nana and friends. Find strong angles to play from all across the map. Even if they need to play from main, even if they need to play from spawn, they will do so just to trap the Hero KDA.
Nice spot out. Angela, Shock Dart just to clear her out. Gets a little bit more space for her teammates, and they are just gonna immediately aggressive to the side, but will be stopped by Nuki. Cupcake from hell. Just drags Olulu down. Hannah, she knows she's there. She needs to get her aim right, but she has no clue. Hard to play around the smokes. But she's just gonna take her time, get some information, taps, but unfortunately whiffs, and Cupcake gets another pick for herself.
Oh, that's a rare mistake there for Hannah, and now it's Nuki and Izzy to wrap it all up. The timing there with the smoke. In the end though, Nana and friends still, just their overwhelming presence on these sites is throwing the Hero KDA for an absolute loop. They're struggling here for the Hero KDA to find their footing. Yes, there was an eco round still, but in any case, if Nana and friends are always in a good position, then you can rely on all of them to step on up when needed be.
Yeah. The Hero KDA, I think this is a good timeout because they have to figure out what they can do with Bagels and Hannah's ultimate, all 1 point each. In this situation as well, Aisling, perhaps you can use her ultimate for perhaps to really just move around the map quickly, just to maybe get some information gathering, or rather just to really hide the map as they just kind of aggress onto the site. But 4 rounds in a row can be mentally devastating. It's whether or not the Hero KDA can pick each other up from that. And I think that's the whole idea on why they moved the entire team to Singapore for this particular event.
Yep, just communicate as quickly as possible. Playing at the same venue, it really makes a big difference in that aspect.
It's like me and you, Dax.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
when I fist bump you in person, it hits different, you know?
it's not the same
Exactly.
when we're online. And well, we can have that talk later. Right now, it's the Hero KDA who has talked things through. We've seen some standout performances so far from Aisling, from the likes of Hannah, but it's not going to be enough if the Hero KDA can't get the backfill kills at the right time. The kills are one thing in terms of the stats. The timing itself is the other.
This time around, mid will be what they're going to keep an eye on. Already seeing this 3-1 sort of play coming through. Yuki forced out of the way. Paranoia as well just really moves her out of her positioning. Snooki and her teammates will go and try to take the entirety of Haven, but will be taken down. Yuki answers 4-2, and Yuki has been massive with this multi-frags.
Yeah, this time around, Yuki was ready for the window take, and Hannah here over on the corner yet again. She's loving to try and play in cover, but we've seen from Nana and friends, they've done a good job to keep tabs of those angles. Aldron, though, awaiting her. Hannah has to back away towards Jenny instead, as a shock dart is lobbed. Yet as well, suppressed perhaps here from the Hero KDA. Give them a chance now to just deal with the dry contact instead. All this happens, it's a split approach. We get again the turret being set, broken quickly. Hannah still holding close. The dart is there too. And Izzy looking ready for this. The scan is perfect. And now it's Izzy getting two. Angela also finding one more angle. And Nana and friends make it to double digits.
They finally know the answer. But the thing is, for Nana and friends, they're okay with giving away the site and playing a retake, and that's honestly a very clean retake. It felt like for the Hero KDA, they weren't given enough time or didn't have enough time to fully prepare for that post plant. Their positioning was just not in a situation which allows them to crossfire or even trade each other. Meanwhile, Nana and friends, they have this two, I would say, teammate going on, like a double swing coming through, where they're able to peek one by one and trade off one another like that and put in that damage.
They're just so synchronized.
They are.
This is the power of friendship, Dash.
I wish we had this friendship, Dax.
I wish so. I do so. I wish
But
we
you're
had
just
like little...
But you're just being so mean to me all the time, man.
No, I'm not. I was very accommodating when we went to Ascension.
Oh yeah, you are. I'm sorry. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah,
But coming up to the side here, Angela playing aggressive. She finds one. Sindari as well for one more. Snooki not stopping aggression. Sindari hasn't moved at all. Olulu does answer back with that Spectre. Gets a little bit of an upgrade. Now slowly but surely, Olulu all alone. 1v4 gets tagged by the shock dart as well as eyes, and suddenly it looks like everything is falling apart for the Hero KDA.
Yeah, it's an absolute sonata here from
Not a
Nana
single
and friends.
round in the second half, Dax.
It's a perfect streak, but that round was even more so sublime. Did you see how Nana and friends played that to perfection? The fact that they're setting up these stations where they're going for that initial contact in a more advanced position, try to read the initial execute from the Hero KDA, but look at their fallback positions as well. Moving down back to the site, they're also anticipating any kind of aggressive push. As soon as we saw the last member of Hero KDA try to go for the swing towards B, it was a shock dart from Sendari and an immediate shot from Izzy. Those are the moments that give NF the advantage in this game.
This time around, they're trying to get aggressive through mid. The smoke is going to be a little bit hard to play through, but I don't want to give any information. But the alarm bot, spot start, they exactly know where she is. Now, that lockdown will give them a little bit of space to breathe through, but the problem has never been getting onto site. The problem has been the post plan for the Hero KDA. Oh, what a recon!
Scan! They exactly know where their opponents are. It's mapped out immediately here by NAF. And as we see the Hero KDA try to play towards Pizza, it seems like it's just gonna be a raw deal instead for Aisling. Sendari though finding Olulu after the trade, and it's 4v2. And yet again, Tash, it's the same scenario. The plant is there, sure, but the numbers are in favor of NAF instead. They're looking now for an opportunity. Beautiful scan, though can't get the kill, and Bagel actually getting hit by the bullet instead. Sendari ready. It's Hannah versus the world, and there's no way she can handle that. Nana and friends have been perfect so far, and they continue the streak for match points.
It's just so unlucky, but you really... I am just so amazed at how much respect Nana and friends are willing to give to the hero KDA. Lockdown, that's okay. Give them that space. We aggress as soon as it goes down. And because they know the timing so well, they give the hero KDA little to no space to prepare for that post plant. And that has been the biggest problem that the hero KDA has been. And honestly, I would love to see the hero KDA take up more space, be able to take out mid, go for picks perhaps, because in this situation, Nana and friends, it's always been strength in numbers.
Yeah, just the lack of components here for the hero KDA. Once they make it towards the site and the spike, who is left in the end? They understand that here for Nana and friends, that synergy allows them to have more parts to play with. And this time around, the operator might be the signature piece. Shot though does find a target. Nuki here from the door even! And this is a scan to boot. Now they get the insult where the KO is at. The door is broken, and as the smoke dissipates, Nuki's ready for more. Nuki going nuclear so far. Shut down though by Snowkey as we have the blades in hand. This might be the chance to chill here for the hero KDA. Nuki though eventually confirming Alulu from the grave. 3v3 and yet again casualties to begin with.
Plant, right in hell, they know exactly where she is. The idea that it's going to be 2 in hell is already helping, but the last member, not spotted out. Suki still very much aggressive, but here comes the Hunter's Fury just to really break down that ultimate, to give them that space. Does get tagged. Snowkey is quite low. Izzy, she knows exactly where she is. Takes one out. Hannah answers, but not enough. As the first series, the first game will be taken by Nana and friends.
This was 7-5 at the end of the first half. It ends 7-13, Dash. 8 rounds in a row. As perfect can be from Nana and friends there. And well, the cat logo says it all. Just absolutely cool, calm, collected.
That's exactly what the cat's doing, and we gotta do it. The perfect second half for Nana and friends. And you know what? Forget cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cat is what we're gonna talk about next. But I think in this situation, we can see a lot of pressure onto the hero KDA, and I'm really curious to see or think what exactly they have to think about in the second game. But for now, I'm gonna throw it back to the panelists and Dax. See you in a little while.
Thanks, Dax and Tash. Nana and friends absolutely stealing the show, running away with it in the second half of map number 1. 7-5 straight to that 7-13 speed run. How do we think about Nana and friends just adapting well, I think, to the hero KDA and really learning how to read them well in that second half? What do you think, Dax?
I mean, I made my thoughts very clear on the cast already, Jenny. It's just the synergy right now from Nana and friends. The power of friendship has just been incredible so far, and from what I look at here, it's just the way that they're able to play off one another's position and immediately cover it with utility. Biggest examples, just the synergy we saw from Izzy as well as Sindari, what we would see from Cupcake as well to solve for that kind of time. And so many times on the defense, we would end up in a post plant where the hero KDA were lacking some very important players, very important utilities basically, that made it so that as soon as Nana and friends would swing from the angles that they came from on the raid take, it just wasn't covered by the hero KDA.
Yeah, and I gotta ask the all-important question after seeing that map number 1. Okay, we're gonna get the MVPs. It's gonna be Nuki, KO on the side of Nana and friends. You know, I thought that Sundari was going to get that one. Yeah, I think she just got eked out by the ACS at the end. I'm pretty sure she was top ACS for like 2/3 of that game.
Yeah, pretty much the whole time. I think so. She even had one more kill. But again, case in point, look at how Nana and friends have basically worked so well with their backline. Angela making that space, going for that first contact, yes, but it still is just the linchpin of that KO and the Sova together. We've been talking about here, even on the panel, Jenny, because with the double intel, you need to make sure that you know exactly where your opponents are coming from. And not only we would see that from Nuki, from Sendari, but the anticipation and the prediction that they make. It's just some strong decision makings there from Nana and friends that gave them this dub.
Yeah, very well deserved dub. I'm just really impressed with the way that Nana and friends were able to read the hero KDA, because when we started off with that first half of map 1, you know, when they were 1 and 5, it just looked like they were scrambling, didn't have a game plan, but they just started to be able to read the hero KDA so well and just absolutely turn it around towards the end of that map 1. The hero KDA, it just looked like they didn't know what to do. It looked like they were not really able to make that decisive decision, and that just makes me really worried for them going into map 2. I know that we both here on the desk predicted that, you know, map 2 might go in the way of the hero KDA, but I'm a bit worried about that now that we've seen that map 1 MVP. Map 1, of course, going to go over Nuki on the KO. I love her photo. It's really cute.
She has the same angle as KO. It just fits. It just fits. And
no, dude. You don't know that. Like, KO could take her mask off right now, and it could be Nuki underneath that mask.
That's true. That is true. You would never know. But I just want to say here, Jenny, that this was the map that Nana and friends needed to win. Just because you move on to Split and Fracture, maybe that's where the shakiness can come from. But the way that they won so far, it's a twofold thing. This is already some incredible teamwork from Nana and friends. But my biggest concern here from the hero KDA is, are they pretty much too reliant on the contact? It was one of the bigger problems near the tail end of their series against Eons, and from what we saw in the second half, they relied too much on finding the advantage early on with the impact frags, and Nana and friends just didn't give them that chance.
Absolutely. Well, guys, there's going to be at least one more map, and before we see if the hero KDA can make that comeback happen, we're going to go for a really short break. welcome back to Map 2 of Series 1, day number 3 of the Game Changers APAC Last Chance Qualifier between the Hero KDA and Nana and Friends. After Nana and Friends served up a pretty big shellacking over there to the Hero KDA, especially in that second half of map number 2.
Absolutely. Come on, Jenny. Second half, we had such a strong discussion after the match, after that map, just because of the incredible showcase that we saw there from Nana and Friends. And yet again, when we see them as a team, when they look so comfortable, they look so absolutely well-oiled. The synchronicity from Nana and Friends is one of their biggest strengths. And now, moving into Split, they're gonna need to rely on that teamwork yet again as they move into, I'd say, unfamiliar territory to them.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the map number 1 panel as well, right?
I was
About
there.
how Split. You were here. Oh my god, that's not what I meant. Of course you were here. You've been here every day, Dax. Like, geez, don't you ever stop working? You need a break. You deserve a break.
No breaks here for now because we have so many incredible teams looking to vie for Elite. But you mentioned it, like when you talk about Split, it's one of those curveballs yet again by the Hero KDA. And from what I remember seeing on Pearl yesterday against Neons is just that surprise factor of something new, something they whipped up in terms of scrims that can really put the other team under pressure. And for the Hero KDA, they still need to build something of that lead, a gap to stay away from the opponents, because we saw last time on that previous map, 7-5 wasn't enough there, Jenny. Nana and Friends, they always have a road to recovery, if ever.
Absolutely, and we saw during the map picks as well that I do believe it is Nana and Friends starting out on the defense side for Split, so they could very well build up that, you know, lead, that little safety cushion in terms of rounds going into the halftime, which I don't wanna curse or, like, you know, jinx things, but I don't know. I have no idea what the Hero KDA's mentality has to be like right now. We were talking before map 1 that Split is going to be really important in terms of both these teams playing on kind of unfamiliar ground, and maybe the Hero KDA wanting to go for that heat check, wanting to go for that hands check to win map number 2. But coming off of the back of this map 1, the fact that Nana and Friends also have defense, I don't know, Dax. I don't know how I'm feeling about this.
Nana and Friends came to play, and it just seems like everything is so planned out here for Nana and Friends, that what has been working for the Hero KDA, how they overwhelm the opposition, and the strength that they have, now it's falling apart in front of them. We saw those shades against Neons, we saw it in the second half, but once the Hero KDA gets back to the level that they're accustomed to, then you know that's where they're gonna recover. So really right now, them starting on the attack, because Nana and Friends picking up that defense, if we see them get a lead here, even if it's going to be close, I do feel like that will be the point where the Hero KDA will say, okay, we can actually handle this map and look to go for a decider.
Whew, yeah, I mean, you know, we kind of predicted that 2-1 if Nana and Friends managed to win that map number 1.
So check, there you go.
Right? Oh my god, we're 1/3 of the way there. We're 1/3 there. I don't think it was on anyone's bingo card before today that Nana and Friends would 2-0 blitz the Hero KDA straight out of the competition in the elimination match today. But if it happens, I mean, the signs were there in that map number 1.
True, because they absolutely dominated. That wasn't the way we expected them to win. And now, we're going to be getting our compositions. The Hero KDA, I do believe this is something that they've run before with the Astra and the Breach together. But Jenny, come on, a Sage is out here for Nana and Friends. Double control as well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so for the Hero KDA, this is their preferred composition, not just the Astra and the Breach, but just in general, the Killjoy, the Raise, the Sky. It's something that they're very comfortable running on this map. But Nana and Friends, as you were saying, right, they do generally tend to run Sage on Split, which does sound weird, but So they have like a 3 core of comps on Split. They've got Raze, Sage, and Sky, and then they kind of switch things up between like Killjoy, Omen, Astra, as well as Viper. But their Raze, Sage, and Sky is something that they do tend to run on Split. That said, we don't have that much stats on this team. We've got like less than 5 maps to study from them for their VODs, but yeah, this is what they're comfortable with. It's what they're gonna go for.
I'm looking at this double control setup, and you know how suffocating this can be. You have to deal with
On
the stars,
defense.
you have to deal with
Yeah.
the smoke, and you
Uh-huh.
have to deal with the slow. It's just all those SS that Nana and friends can rely on here on the first half. It's something they've run already in this LCQ. I wonder if it can work yet again.
Absolutely, it looks like their game plan is just gonna be smack down the mental of the Hero KDA in that very first half. But guys, of course, once again, to bring you all the action for this map number 2 in what could very well be the last map of this year's Game Changers for the Hero KDA. Once again, it's Tash, Benny, and Dax. Guys, take it away.
When we go into Split, and I haven't seen a Sage on Split in a hot minute.
In a while.
In a
right?
while, yeah. I mean, like on Split right now, if you look at the bigger stage, the meta goes no Sentinel. It's all about the controllers. The double duelists are very, very aggression heavy, like defensive sided map who. It's all about the aggression, that mid control.
Well, they have the double control, but they also have the Sage. Why not all of it, right? That's what Nana Friends is looking for. And
Yeah.
if they can make this an all or nothing approach, they can actually sweep the Hero KDA. On the other hand, our first seed now looking to be in a perilous state here, Tash. Can Hero KDA force out the decider as Nana and Friends are looking pretty happy still after what happened in the first map?
I don't blame him. That comeback was insane. I would feel really good after that streak. I would still be riding that momentum. And on top of that, defense side first on Split. Oh, that's rough.
Everything's looking good here. A lot of green flags to talk about, really, for Nana and Friends right now. And not only that, if you notice at Nana and Friends composition, not only can they go for the stall, but you still have a few combos to work with between the Sage and the Raze. You know, if you kept the catch with the slow orb, the pain shells are pretty much in position. The Hero KDA, they just need to be careful here. And I look to Hannah and Olulu to make that difference. They have a number of flashes, they have the stun to work with, and perhaps if they can allow Snowkey to entry, that can be the chance here for the Hero KDA.
They really haven't decided yet which side they are going to be hitting. They're taking their time for mid side, just waiting for the utility to go down. Trailblazer, just to get some information, suss it out.
Here.
But Nana and Friends playing it very smart, playing it so far back and denying as much information as they can. And that's honestly key. Just to deny the idea that you might have more, that which side has the most amount of people, the stronger side. And if say they walk into your stronger side, well, let's say everything's just gonna fall apart.
Yeah, did you just say Key? I know a guy named Key.
Me too.
Yeah,
I miss him, yeah.
Yeah, he used to be here, but
He used to
now
be
he's
here all the
in
time.
the better place.
Yeah.
All the time, watching us. Oh, but Nana and Friends, he did mention it. They're willing to hang back just because they can rely on the choke points themselves. That might be the problem, though, in the long run.
Oh,
The Hero
no.
KDA waiting out the gravity well. Angela still on site, though.
30
You
seconds
also
left.
have Izzy ready to play from the screens themselves.
Oh,
And
just
here we
far
go.
out.
Angela on the board. Gets the second even. 3v2. Damage done yet again here by Nana and Friends. And you see the same problems here for the Hero KDA. Picked apart bit by bit.
enemy
It's Nana and
remaining.
Friends ready for any angle. And with Yuki getting one more, everything's left to Olulu. It's a 1v3. There we go with the fake on the spike. Beyond that, it's Cupcake with the kill. Nana and Friends, they continue on with the win.
I just think that the Hero KDA hasn't been super proactive when it comes to site taking. Yes, they suss out which site might be easier to get on. They got on, but the problem now is, did they really take the time to clear out every single nook and cranny? With how bad Nana and Friends have been playing, they get so much advantage when they just rush onto site, straight go plant, and you don't clear the backside. You don't clear, screens. You need to take this initiative. And if the Hero KDA doesn't do this soon, they might not be continuing their journey.
Absolutely. Come on. The bare minimum isn't enough, Dash. Because they get onto the site, and it feels like, okay, that's it. That's the call. We want to see more here from the Hero KDA. The fact that this team is such a proactive squad, given the scenario that they get these dubs, now we see them kind of cowering compared to what we expect from them. This is a squad that can overwhelm, but Nana and friends, yet again, dictating to begin with. Classic Sage mid-wall. I haven't seen this since 2021.
Wasn't it last seen earlier this year?
Here.
No, it was
I
a...
don't watch Valorant all the time.
Oh man, yeah, it was earlier this
I'm
year.
sorry.
It was before... Anyways, hold that thought because this sprays coming through and Ice
Down mid.
just makes quick work! Bagel can only get one! That's all she gets.
You were already stunned by history. Now it will be Izzy making history herself. She was just prepared. As soon as the wall breaks,
She
Nana
was
and
ready
friends-
for it. She was just like, hello!
Exactly. I was like, oh, you guys are here? Cool.
Me too!
Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Snowkey because I think she tried to check the corner.
Yeah.
Did it a little too quickly. Was looking more so at the wall than the player.
Yeah, because she was
And-
so tucked in.
Yeah, and just, okay, Nana and friends, happy to take this round.
Nana and friends, just Nana at that point. It was just only Ice holding down the crown. Trailblazer taking out Angela, doing so good. And that situation just now, so they didn't lose any guns. Cupcake with a freaking Phantom already. And I think one great thing about Nana and friends that they learned a lot from Nyx and Militant. That they really want to buy as best they can, just snowball as many rounds in a row.
Yeah, just also know the fact that here for LCQ, we've seen streaks be the biggest backbreakers in these games. You mentioned it, Tash, have that firepower, willing to invest a little bit more in the bonus, and because of how the rounds have gone already, there's so much money in the bank for NAF anyway. Senderi, though, prepared with a Bulldog, looking to play the longer angle. The Hero KDA trying to prep themselves towards a stacking now as a unit. And Snowkey has to be careful with this wing. Guiding Light, though, provides a bit of space. Blastbacks also for the entry. And she does not notice Nuki's there. Criminal stuff from NAF. And yet again, they get the read on the opposition, Tash. They're just so prepared every single time. Struggle here to make it towards the side. The flash is there yet again, but oh, Sendari catches Olulu napping. Hanado, good shot, makes it 3v3 at the very least.
Oh, again, that screens play is just really a thorn in the Hero KDA side. Angela just waiting for the right timing. That
Last
DK
player
just so
standing.
good. Denies the plant.
10
Now,
seconds
Cupcake, Hannah, only half HP left. Hannah runs back into the site. Gonna go for the plant. Gonna force it. 3 seconds to go. Does she get it?
Oh!
No! She gets the pick! She plays the tap and wins the round! 300 IQ. Perhaps this might be the streak that the Hero KDA needs.
Man, you can't spell Hannah without huh? And how did she decide to go for that? Mind games magnificently played by the Hero KDA. It went down to the clutch, sure, but Hannah, she gets it done. So reliable for the squad. One away from the Rolling Thunder. Only problem, Tash, that was NAF's bonus, and now the rifle's ready yet again for the defense.
I mean, the Hero KDA, they're okay. Half shields across the board. But Ice, this time around, will be placing herself up here. Ropes will be how she's been playing, and this is so good. Gets a lot of value from that snake bite. If someone were to push through, that DK will give her a lot of help in just taking them out one by one. Snooki this time around just tucks herself here just to punish anyone playing aggressive. If anyone were to walk into that crosshair, done, gone, next round.
They're dead. It's just circle where the correct area is.
Yes.
Anything and everything in front of the judge. I guess the problem right now, though, Tasha, is the Hero KDA. Do they understand
really
that
walking
NAF
up?
He's walking up, but NAF is just still happy to play back anyway. Boombot, though, and the pain shells. Good damage done towards Izzy, but you still need to keep tabs of what Angela and Yuki are planning. Onto the side, into the corner. Olulu dropping on
that's
down.
beautiful.
Dracula gets the stop. 2v2. And Olulu, that's exactly what they need. A chance now with the Seekers. Here we go with the Seek and the destruction of Nuki. Icing on the board, and it's Cupcake versus the world. In a 1v3 slate, Snowkey's just prepared here on the higher ground. Cupcake right now. Oh, big find. 1v2, looking towards the site itself. Icing over onto the backside, over onto the elbow. But Still, the screens providing cover here for one more on the hero KDA. Cupcake, the high ground's not enough. Eventually, she needs to drop down and find the contact. Looks to isolate towards this side of the map, but no dice. Aisling tracks her down after a beautiful flash. It's the hero KDA tying it up.
I absolutely loved that round, how they played. It was honestly good read that they are just trying to default. So what they've done is that they've managed to time all their utility well. Olulu's first contact, especially with that gravity well, worked so good for her. And then it was just about dwindling their numbers one by one. Now, the Hero KDA, I believe, is one of those teams that really need to ride momentum. They need to feel good to play good. And in this situation, it's starting to look great since that rifle round. They're looking a lot better in economy, but for Nana and Friends, it's a sort of a mixed vibe.
Well, I'll say for the Hero KDA, they're one of the teams that can suddenly seize momentum from the opposition. And maybe that can be their saving grace moving forward. Viper Spit now online and ready. I see a green here from Izzy. I guess if you're playing towards ramen, too much wasabi here on toppings, Tash, but bagel.
You put wasabi on your ramen?
I don't know. Apparently the Viper does here.
I was about to flame you for that.
What else is called? Oh wait, Nori. I'm thinking of Nori. That's my bad. Well, through the seaweeds and through to the site we go. It's a rolling thunder, courtesy of the hero KDA. Still though, the lurks inside the Viper set being the threats, and Dari though isolated now, and Snowkey will get the one. The flash though into play. Izzy now eventually. The patience from the snake bearing fruit as Aisling goes for the plant beyond the wall. So it's down for now, 4v4.
You start to see that Ice really wanted to take control of the mid side, but what they didn't know was that as soon as she ulted the mid side, immediately they knew where exactly the other member is going to be. They took full advantage of the situation, went through the main. Now Snowkey, they have a nice little crosshair gravity, well done, but all it does is just give them the advantage. Nuki, again, multi-fragging with Tsundere. It's always been them. Can they flick? No, they can't. And Nuki saves the day. The excitement in the twirls, that is the best.
What was that though from Angela? Did you see that?
Listen. You don't get it. If you get pulled by the gravity, technically you're not supposed to be able to aim good. But if you let yourself be pulled, you get 100% aim buff, just like the Breach ultimate.
Yeah. So you're saying if you just let what is natural happen, right?
Yes.
If there's a spark, or in this case, if there's a suck from the gravity well, it will work out. And truthfully, in the middle of all that, center stage, Angela take bow. Nana and Friends though, this has just been an incredible run from them so far. Honestly, the best series we've seen from them in terms of performance. But the Hero KDA are no slashes as well. It's only a one-round gap. Eco sure, a Hero Guardian, yes. Trying to fake out or trying to bait out Cupcake from peeking. But Nana and Friends, they know they can just hang back for the time being.
Really liking the fact that the Hero KDA is taking their time. Find out the info. Don't rush too much. Oh, Bagel. That's crucial. Probably has an idea that's going to be the sage close by. But they take their time. They're going to be breaking that mid wall. And immediately you can see the reposition by Nana and Friends. Really backing off, allowing them and giving that respect. And they would rather play with their teammates than play alone and take these duels.
I mean, the defensive protocol here from Nana and Friends is so standardized. They just back off towards heaven, towards tower as much as possible, just to keep tabs of the initial push. It's already taking so much time here for the Hero KDA to cross on through.
Oh, she flashed
because of the presence, and the flash comes, doesn't matter. No one's there, but time is bit by bit running on out here for the Hero KDA. Snowkey though finds the contact. Pain Shell's also thrown to keep Nuki at bay. Seekers are at ready. Centauri gets one for her troubles, but all she gets, it's up to Cupcake to go for the hold. Gets one at the very least. Nuki now on the board. Here comes Aisling with the trade. Bagel absolutely blinded here by the utility. And then a 3v2, the Hero KDA, can they bring themselves to a post-match scenario? Aisling creeping, surprises Cupcake. Pray for her, giving them a chance. Angela though with the find. Showstopper is here, and it's time perhaps to change the channel. 30 HP. It's the only saving grace here for the Hero KDA, but there's no way, no how. Nana and Friends with another.
Oh man, a little bit much just now. Again,
Team
the Hero KDA knows only half the story. They didn't have time to fully just think out their plan. I really gotta give it to Nana and Friends. They have so much good hold of their utility. Timing is so good. You can tell, like, as soon as someone to see someone happen, immediately that information is relayed straight to her cupcake, and she just reacts. All her teammates have to do is just play off of these utilities.
I'm just impressed though that Nana and friends, they stuck around as a unit because they look so well oiled. They look so efficient with one another, and the teamwork right now from Nana and friends, the understanding of when to really help out each other has just been some of the best we've seen so far here in the playoffs. And I kind of wonder right now, where was this success back in the open stages? You know how good they are playing with one another. You know that they have this history starting from KPG, moving into their next team now as Nana and friends. And I love the fact that we're seeing them still together under the little cute cat that dabs.
Yeah, I just noticed that the cat has like a little bit of like, you know, a headband there.
Yeah,
I just realized it. It has like a little, it has like
bling.
the, what do you call that? It looks like a cloud or like the Naruto logo.
The headband?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's more of one of those exercise bands. It looks like
Is
that,
it? I thought it was like a Naruto band.
I mean, that too. It's a cute little sash on its head.
I wish
You know
I
what it
had a
kinda
sash on my
reminds me
head.
of?
What?
It kind of reminds me of the Gangnam Style guy. On
Oh, you're right!
right?
You're right! I cannot unsee. Oh, man.
Banana style.
Dang.
Oh.
You got talent. You got talent.
Man,
I'll give that to
come
you.
on.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not singing, that's for sure. It's probably just making things up along the way. Nana and friends, though, talent abound. The 2-round gap is clear. Guns are out, though, here for the Hero KDA as they try to vie for mid again.
Snooki, this time around, she's not going to play too aggressively. Now, if you've noticed that Snooki, she does try to make something happen. She's trying her best to really take up that space. But in a lot of situations, if she's on site, her teammates are just not able to follow up. Or perhaps she would already be so far away, but she doesn't have enough time to really suss out the entire area because she's a little bit too worried that she might be caught off guard. But this time around, she's going aggressive. Here comes the satchel as well as Showstopper. Finds the mark with Sundari out of the way. Does one heavy hitter out. But the Trailblazer spots her. Teammates are there to give her a little bit more space to work with. The flash comes through. No swing out. Does buy some time.
Yeah, the plant goes down and such a strong cosmic divide as well. We've seen this here from the Hero KDA. If they can isolate Sundari, it gives them a play towards the site itself. Copycat kill playing close now. Gets a bit of the heals here from the regrowth from Yuki. Nana and friends still hanging around, waiting perhaps for an opportunity with the flash and the wall itself. Here we go. Olulu finding Yuki to start things off. Counter flash. Angela finding Hannah. Angela with a second. Okay. The Hero KDA, though, they're more prepared for this firefight. And then 2v1. It's left to Izzy to try and play through the cloud. And get the intel. Izzy, though, isolates one. And oh, that got close. But Snooki survives to live and fight another day. The Hero KDA, that's a win they needed.
That was incredibly scrappy, I have to say. You can see that the initial hits, once again, amazing, but then they answer back with their own cosmic divide. And the problem is, they weren't really timing the utility well, and it they kind of like bit back or just blow back in their faces. And in that situation at 2 versus 1 as well, like I was really hoping to see a swing play by the Hero KDA, perhaps a little bit of a miscom, but thankfully it was able to be salvaged by Snooki. But personally for me, I don't think they should have lost a player there.
It's getting dangerous here for the Hero KDA. Even though they won the round, it gets a little too scrappy for their own liking. It was already such a strong set play. I'd love to see those post plants yet again chewed up with by the attackers. Rachel's still gonna get lobbed. Angela here, a threat from the last round, looking to be yet again the same. The Satchel though pops in front of them, keeping tabs now with Nuki. The flash gets the intel. And while we see Nana and friends scrambling around this B site, the Hero KDA, they might realize a rotation is available.
Look at how deep Nana and friends are holding. And they're so okay with giving that site. Understanding that so long as they have the man advantage, they will win. Snooki pushing out all alone.
There.
Make sure it's clear. Satchel's on the site. This time around, make sure to clear out both sides of the road.
Oh.
But the sprays come through, doesn't come anything. But Olulu does find Sundari, and here comes the cabbages right for you. Breaks it down, but gives them all the information they need already. Snooki still holding, and Aisling making sure to hold heaven very cleanly.
Yeah, while the salad bar has been picked clean, it's still the Hero KDA with the position and the guns. Baiting one. Sindari fell so early on after the shots, and with the screens being held together here for Nana and Friends is the only real pressure point that they can fight from. Angela and Cupcake though, making good work from it. Strawberry Bagel hanging back, Snowkey the same, and Snowkey, well, Winter has arrived. It's effective enough here as Snowkey's an ice cold killer. 4-4, we're tied up.
Whew. It's been a tug of war. 2 rounds. Each team, Nana and Friends grab 2. The hero KDA grabs 2. Both teams just really trying to suss out, just try to find these patterns, but it's really hard to say when Nana and Friends are just changing up the way they play every single round. For the hero KDA, it's really hard for them to have this, like, I would say, a clean protocol, a clean set play onto site as well because of that.
Well, I'm gonna give props to the hero KD in that round, Tash, actually. The mid-round thing to go for A was effective. Here we go, though, in the middle of the map. Already at the start, there is pressure. Angela so focused in to get these kills, but Hannah will suddenly smite her and punish that hubris. So immediately, the push there from Nana and Friends, counteracted by the hero KDA. They also go for the lockdown and make their way towards B, and Bagel catches Cupcake, ill-prepared for the swing. Big picks already for the hero KDA. They moving on to the site, the Trailblazer for the intel as well. And
look at this
on
corner!
the alert. Exactly, Hannah's here, waiting to make a play. The flash is there, but she can't actually swing off it. The res comes online though. Nana and Friends giving themselves at least one more member to play with.
Time. A lot of time to play with. His eyes. Just making sure to clear every single corner of the air. Don't want to be caught off guard. Just making her way straight into CT, but Hannah, slowly but surely. Oh, timing. Might favor Snowkey here. I'm not sure if she saw it. No, she didn't, but yes, she does! Does lose her teammate in the process, but good enough. Sindari playing in from A main. And I think in this situation, they know that that's it. It's the end. Better go for the save.
Just stalking her right there. Still, the hero KDA, such a big win. As soon as they get the plant going, it's such a far cry from what we saw in the first map. Now they look so much more secure about their executes. They know that they have Nana and Friends on the ropes once they get that site. The stall is what allows this defense to thrive, and one thing we were talking about on the panel a while ago, Tash, is if the hero KDA can get the lead here in the first half, it's already such a good sign for the rest of the map.
Truly. And on top of that, I love how the hero KDA is changing it up. Yes, for so many rounds, they were playing mid-side, and they had a lot of success with it. But I'm talking about like what they do after they got onto site. It's a little bit more thorough. They take their time. They go and push out a little bit more, take up a little bit of space, and they're not pushing out alone. And that is very, very crucial. They're making sure that they're being able to play off each other. And I think that that timeout they had before gave them that time to just really breathe and just collect their thoughts. Because again, the hero KDA is a team that really loves playing off emotions. When they have fun, you can really see it in the game, and we're starting to see that again. But again, I do understand the repercussions for this match though. Winner goes on, loser, that's the end.
Yeah, loser's gone, and that's the thing. This is LCQ. No further tournaments here for everyone else. Besides, of course, Elite will play with the top 8 that we've had all throughout the year. You know already, that regional spot is up for grabs, as hype as can be near the tail end of the year. And right now, there are 2 slots available in this LCQ to make it to Elite. The prize is there in front of the eyes of Nana and Friends as well as the hero KDA. Let's see though if NAP can recover. As the hero KDA, they're looking to play towards A here, Tash. Trailblazer to try and scout initially. They also go for that main control to start things off. Snowkey Page Shells. This might be dangerous here for Sindari, for Nuki rather, as well as Izzy.
Oh,
The ramps being taken too.
They know exactly there's someone up on Haven. Izzy playing close, gonna be using her wall. Anyone were to push that decay as well as his shotgun, just gone from the ground. But Pink's coming through. They notice someone in screens, hoping that Angela will be the one to provide that distraction to give her teammate a little bit of space. And Emily just bursts onto the site, misses the pain shells, and Emily goes forward, but does not realize it's a 3-way hole on Haven.
There's just so many lines to cross there, and Nana and Friends setting up the firing range. Izzy now getting up close and personal. Nuki also with a kill, and from this point on, it's all Nana and Friends. as Alulu tries to strike back. The ramp still held here by the hero KDA. And then, well, from that point on, Alulu is the saving grace here for the attackers. Down the ground, though, over onto the ropes. We still have one more player. It's Izzy trying to check out mid, but right behind her, it will be the last two members of the hero KDA. Izzy, turn around. Oh, the barrel, it's been spotted. And because of it, Alulu will get the jump on her. 2v2, and Alulu's doing it all here.
I was a little bit concerned that we might be seeing some knife action just now. Thankfully, timing wasn't really there. Plant's trying to be. It's actually so interesting. Watch this happening, but Aisling does find Angela, and they are not done. No clue where Nuki is, and they are on the hunt. Timing, not on their side. They leave sight, but she's right here. Spots out the spike.
Noise?
I don't think they heard her at all.
Oh, the drop though. And now from this point on,
they
can
heard
split
her.
on up. They know now because of the utility. Nuki still on the ground here, Tash. And as Aisling and Alulu are trying to play individual angles, it's Nuki who is second guessing herself. This will be another kill from Alulu.
She didn't even have to
Opportunity all the time, Tash. And it's the hero KDA back with the stellar and usual beats they're accustomed to.
Honestly, for Alulu, I don't need to move my crosshair at all. Let her walk straight into it. These nasty angles. But the thing is, what I'm surprised about is the fact that they were willing to commit to walk all the way, rotate all the way back to B, just to make sure everything was clear. You can tell that the hero KDA, they're on hyper-vigilance right now. Moving together, they had A clear. But instead, walk all the way to B, plant there just to make sure they can get a little bit more picks, just to give a little bit more advantage on their side. And this time around, Cupcake played the back corner, and she will be starting the round.
Absolutely. Ever since we saw them call for the timeout, I feel like for the hero KDA, the mid-rounding has been a lot more solid. The communication and the coordination. And as you said, not just the call towards B, but to double stack as much as possible, play with one another in those instances. Vimer Spit though, online and ready. And from what we've seen so far, the more experience, the more learned the hero KDA, they're gonna stay away from that and move towards A instead.
Angela playing a very dangerous game here.
She's all alone here.
She's all alone. Her teammates aren't there to support her. It's making me very nervous. She can get out of the way though. She has her utility to help her out. Oh, she's busting her out.
Intel.
Safely out. Denied that space with the paint shells.
I think here for Nana and friends, they're relying too much on their composition just to scare off the hero KDA now. There is no fear. The hero KDA, they feel like this is their pivot point, but it's Snooki! It's a showstopper though from Snooki. Flies high to get the deny. Sandari though on the board as well. Spike is down. Advantage here for Nana and friends. And Angelo with a bucky of all things. Eventually, the trap is sprung here from Nana and friends. The hero KDA, they want to go for the rotate. And that's Aisling who'll eventually have to walk into the sightlines of Izzy. Return to sender and Nana and friends recover. It's 5-6.
Man, it started off so good for the hero KDA, and again the same thing happens. Look at that. Immediately Snooki on site gets displaced away from her teammates, weren't able to play together, and Bucky Gaming, hello. That's
just
painful.
A security guard. It's just no way.
You have a Bucky and you have a judge. Which one do you want? Pick your poison.
Apparently the Bucky wins. One shot is all she needs. A single pump there, and this is just what Nana and friends can do in these scenarios. It got dangerous at the start, right? Because you only had Angela getting that intel. But the way that they play back for an initial position, the way that they stop the hero KDA, that's the strength really of what Cupcake and Izzy bring to this composition.
Different wall this time around, a little bit deeper. Understandable though, just want to buy more time. Gives them a little bit more info. Means it denies them access onto B, which gives them the idea that it might just be feeding onto A. But breaking that though, gives a lot of question marks to Nana and friends. Wow.
Again, the timing, that was so fortunate for Bagel. Cupcake though now can be isolated towards the corner, gets away in time thanks to the smoke. And from this point on, it's the Cosmic Divide play that the hero KDA is relying on. Blinded now, Cupcake can't fight back. Stokey again with the entry. Trailblazer gets a chomp off the Bagel shore. But Sandari, knifing, trying to see someone's there. flashes out, and now the push comes. Sindari, though, getting back into cover in time, using the Cosmic Knight for protection. Boombot's gonna be into play as well, and as Lulu tries to hold form the Garden, it's the hero KDA, so prepared onto the side. Hannah with another one. It's 5v3 now, as Sindari tries to push. Inside the smoke, though, it's two members here of the defense. Nuki getting up close and personal. Goodbye to Hannah, sure, but yet again, it's the hero KDA with the angles. Nuki and Sindari making it a 2v2, though. It's Snowkey prepared. Such a commit here for the hero KDA. Time running out, and from top to bottom, it's Sindari who finds them both. 3 for her, and the round's taken here by NAF. We get tied up at the end of the first half.
Truly, you are a boulder and I am a mountain. Sindari is so immovable when it comes to holding down the line. Regardless, gonna let Dax and Jenny break it down for us for the first half. Go ahead, guys.
Oh.
Alright, Desk Dax. You're Desk Dax now. That's the new nickname that we're giving you when you're on the desk.
There's Desk Dax, there's Cast Dax.
There's Tash and Dax.
There's Tash and Dax, there's...
Dax and Blue.
What's us? Daxachu? Okay, I'll take
Oh,
it. Anyway, we have a minute
yeah.
to break down what just happened there, Jenny.
Anyway, you got anything new for me, or am I gonna ask you a question?
I mean, we saw already from the side of the hero KDA, once they get back on their feet, they just look so much more prepared compared to them just trying to force some of these issues. We see the mid-rounding has been a lot more stellar. They put themselves with 6 rounds on the attacking side, and the only answer here from Nana and friends by the tail end was not just only the clutch there from Sinduri, but also the way that they can regroup to throw out utility. So we saw strengths on both sides, but one thing we said a while ago, Jenny, if the hero KDA can get at least a small lead or even this tied up scoreline, they're gonna be set for a better second half here.
Right, so 6-6 Sage on attack for Nana and friends. What do we think? 10 seconds, go.
I mean, it's difficult, but if you can find the kills, Battle Sage or the res is the value.
Alright, well, the hero KDA absolutely do not want to get eliminated. To stop them from happening, they have to win this all-important second half. Tash, back to you.
6-6 half on split. If you're on attacker side previously, it's a happy day for you. And if you're on attacker side now, a lot of question marks going on.
Yeah, I think it's difficult here for Nana and friends. Yes, they're gonna have that double control to split up the site effectively, and if they can get a good catch, then that's the win for them. But they're only gonna be relying on Nuki and Angela to become that front line. Everyone else is gonna be walking into whatever the hero KDA has set here, Tash. And while I feel like a gift basket that's been passed around from panel to cast, we go again into the second half, and NAF, they're gonna be vying for mid here.
Greshson on to the mid side. No one to meet them there, but this time around, the same thing we saw in Ascent is for NAF, waiting to see if it's gonna be aggression from the hero KDA. Ashling does push out a little bit more. Does not spot out anyone quite yet. Still playing it relatively safe, as A side will be the site the utility for Killjoy will be placed on, at least just buy some time.
Yeah, the hero KDA, they're happy to still play towards heaven. And one thing that they can do in these kind of plays is we still have Hannah playing back towards one of the 2 towers that we have here. A single fault line is enough to oppress Nana and friends. So I'm looking really at what Angela can do in this half. If she can provide the space for entry, it'll be a chance here for NAF. But if they are just stopped by the sky, stopped by the breach, the hero KDA in control. Logbot's there, fault line, something we've been waiting for. And as Bagel waits onto the site, perhaps through the smoke, there will be the push here from Nana and friends. 2 already here for the hero KDA, dictating the rules of engagement. It's 4v2 onto the site, still many members of the defense, and the struggle is apparent here for Nana and friends.
Not overpeaking, but Bagel, I think she probably knows that they are just slowly pushing through. Hannah picks one of herself with Lulu. Hannah, big picks here on the first round of second half. And I think that this might be the start of a change in momentum.
Yeah, And change of momentum and also just a changing of the guard here. With the defense for the Hero KDA, we always have to look at what Hannah's gonna do in this game. Not only was her fault line absolutely pristine in the timing, but her herself getting those kills. She doesn't just set it up, Tash, she also knocks it down.
It's true. I think that what's great about Hannah on that breach is just not only that she can set up her teammates by time, but she can also play it very selfishly. Again, I want to remind everyone that Hannah on that breach can be very oppressive. It almost feels like cyberbullying at times.
I mean, she's just one of the best shots we've had here so far. And that might be where the Hero KDA can rely on the talents of their team. Snoki, though, gets the spot. It's Olulu also, and look at how quickly the Hero KDA, they just shred them apart, Tash, and there's just no real chance here for Nana and friends right now. They can't find the space to work with.
It's the hunt for the final player.
Oh.
I think they spot out the spike, also the backs of NAF. So unlucky. Eyes all alone. Can she at least make a miracle play? Maybe good for one, perhaps. Ooh, nearly does, but other teammates are here. A double swing! Not enough. Snooki ends the round. Whoa, they are feeling themselves.
Yeah, they're just looking a lot more confident compared to before. This is the expectations we have for the Hero KDA. And my biggest concern for Nana and friends is just how are they gonna make this cross happen? The double control can break those sight lines, can get a good catch against the Hero KDA if ever, but KDA has just been so well timed with their peaks. They just know exactly when to go and when to actually try and stop the opposition. And given that it's their bonus, they want to play closer here, Tash.
Silky, gonna be following with that Trailblazer. I love this, but it gives her all the information. Gonna buy some time here. Does she drive? Because she know Olulu is there for that support, but so does the Pain Shells. Clears out the backside. So Derry, does she go down? Yes, she does! Unable to move. Unlucky.
Yeah, how does Sundari even fall that easily here for the Hero KDA now? Advantage clear. The smoke is there though, set. Nuki looking to just find any target if ever. And while sure the Vandals are out here for Nana and friends, it's still the Hero KDA happy to play closer with the Spectres instead. Snooki also, perhaps a regroup now. Looking to check out mid if ever. Realizes though it's still that A main presence from Nuki. There's a hole there, the toxic screen. Giving a chance to go for the peek, sure. Snooki wants to go for the hold herself. Boombot broken now, moving towards the site, trying to play the high ground. Ramps being taken, so Nana and friends, they can pivot off tower if ever. Trailblazers there too. And it's Angela now, being assisted by the stun if ever. Olulu keeping tabs. The Hero KDA found now. Angela on the board. A good satchel even to keep the Hero KDA over on the corner. But Aisling, this is timing, but she can't get the kill. It's all Naf with the takedowns. Hannah onto the corner, finds two for her troubles, but that's all she gets. 2v1. It's Bagel who tries to look for the timing and the clutch moment though. Trying to be made. The plant goes down, and it's the Hero KDA. They're looking to set themselves up again. Down the swarms there, and it's a 2v1, Tash.
It's gonna be very difficult with the Spectre in hand, especially against these rifles. But if she can just get one more gun, would really seal the round for them for round 4. Regardless, gonna just make a wraparound here, coming in from main. Don't think I spot her out quite yet. Eyes on heaven. They know she's there already on main. She's flashed out. But time is running out. Can she go for at least one more pick? Coming in from both sides. The ice link comes through. She can't take them down. Goes down eventually. But in this situation, Nana and friends get the round, but loses 3 rifles in the process.
And you can see how much of a struggle that was. Even with the gun disparity, they couldn't find the confidence to play towards the site itself. They went for the heaven take. And one more thing, it took them a while to clear out these corners. So the Hero KDA, they have a lot of things that they can take positively from that last round despite losing it. Now we're gonna see the half armor though for the defense. Same case for Nana and friends. Rifles ready for both sides. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Hannah and Olulu find a way to find the hook perhaps to begin this round.
This time, buy some time as Olulu will be trying to get that information. Not too sure if they actually spot anyone out. Cupcake this time, playing it a little bit back, understanding that someone on the flank catching them would be crucial. And we've seen this happen so many times, especially in B Garage. We have Cupcake on the outside, on the inside will be Aisling, but never pushing out way too much.
They just don't overcommit and overstep. It's the Hero KDA here. happy to play such a default, move over to Garage also and get that control after the initial presence and intel. You can see here for them, they know exactly what they need from the map and not one step more. Bagel though, keeping tabs over Mint still in the vents. Smokes there too. Anticipated Sundari is spotted immediately. Nuki though, a quick trade. Leads now to the Seekers. My only problem though for Nana and friends, the spike is left behind, and even if they get this space, it's that timer that will be whittled down sooner or later.
So they do have the sight, but Ashley will whittle down the numbers as Cupcake does.
Big
Answer
win.
back.
30
The
seconds
situation.
That's
left.
such a big pick.
It
That's such a
really
big
was.
pick, Tash.
It really was. And this situation is 3 versus 3. THK
Spike
wants to
planted.
play it together. Suspects, didn't watch. Check your left. Gonna throw out that nade. Does not clear the corner. Can she answer back? She does not know where to look. The information was not relayed. And Nana and friends, 2 rounds in a row. Massive. The hero KDA needs to find an answer.
Nana and friends, it gets so dangerous in these instances, but you can see for Nuki, she's just in such a fortunate angle. I do believe because of distraction of Izzy, Hannah wanted to check towards the rafters instead. And from that point on, quick 2K there from Nuki. Nana and friends, they still have a chance in this. They still have a hope onto the execute if they can find the opening given to him by the hero KDA.
This aggressive pace read very well by Nana and friends. Then disparity. Sprays come through. Sundari never disappoints with her rifles. Takes a lot of damage though. But it does give them information that with most people at mid, main should be a lot easier. But what they didn't know is that Strawberry Bagel holding down the line ramps. You can see all the utility already pretty much set out here. Alarmbot spots her out. She is vulnerable, but did not take any damage. I don't think they spotted how
gonna
yet,
be
but yeah. No.
She's just waiting right now, and from this point on, look who's gonna be behind them. Hannah!
What
Finding
are
two!
these taps?
What was that? Highway robbery of those live Snooki also on the board now in wave 2v1. But the Sheriff's finding value, and no one noticed Hannah was just creeping and crawling her way to try and find impact. And Snooki though finished the job off. Sundari and Cupcake on the opposite end. There we go with the tap towards the spike, ready for the contact yet again. Still though, the double up is looking stellar here from Nana and friends. Snooki is had enough. She wants to get halfway. Checked out here by Sundari. Got close, but Cupcake will handle it. A 3K for her and the lead taken here by Nana and friends.
They nearly lined up for her. Just look at that. But these initial picks, I don't know what it is about the mentality of these players on Thrifties. Because, holy hell, what are those taps? What are those shots? I am losing my mind. If I
what
could
are
see a
those
slow-mo
calls?
replay, I would just be begging for it. Production, please!
I'm just impressed that Hannah was able to make her way with the cool kids of Nana and friends and say, don't worry, I totally belong here. She just
One of
found
us.
a way in.
One of
One
us.
of us. The technical pause is called though, but Nana and friends, this is such a statement with this 3-round streak. We've been concerned about how they're going to be playing this map, but they make waves with Angela, with Nuki. Just the way that they're able to find the timings, thanks to Izzy and Cupcake also. And while the hero KDA, I feel like it has slipped from their grasp in the past 2 rounds, it's still the fact that Nana and friends have made their way towards the site that gives them that chance.
Wondering, what exactly does the hero KDA have in mind here? Because it's 3 rounds in a row they've given away to the attackers on split. And I think if anything, they're just not sure how exactly to deal with that initial play. Because they're playing so very slow. Hannah and... sorry, not Hannah and friends. What? The hero...
I mean, technically, you can. If the hero KDA wanted their name to be like that, right? It can be Hannah and friends. It can be Olulu and friends. You know, it can be Tash and friends because we have Tash with us right now. You know.
I mean, Tash and friend. Because you're
Friend?
Dax. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
Yo, I'm happy to be counted as a friend already.
Aw.
That's like a blessing, the Tash Bunny blessing. Thank you.
Aw.
Very much.
He says that, but he forgets who he is. Okay, I just really want to talk here, Dax. What do you think is Nana and friends doing right here on Tech?
Winning, that's for sure.
Oh god, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, but again, honestly, it boils down to the fact that they find a way to navigate. And it's still because there's so much weight on the shoulders right now of Yuki and Angela, and they can handle it.
Yeah.
It's given them that chance to actually fight back here on the attacking side. And once they had the rifles, they were on par with the single duels we would see from the hero KDA. Given that factor, Nano and friends, they made their chance and they made this lead happen.
Regardless, it's gonna be very, very hard here for both teams mentally. But I think the team that's not really buckling under pressure has been Nana and friends. They're a team that loves to play slow. They love taking these rounds. They love lengthening as much as they can. Just keep the enemy team on their toes. Olulu has that information and immediately leaves out of the way, respecting that space. Decides to play together, Trailblazer, just to really make sure rotations are not happening. But look at that, how Nana and friends are just okay to play so back and just wait for them to use their utilities and then they strike.
And okay, Cupcake gets intel on the Iceling. Perhaps Iceling will retreat instead. And you mentioned it, yes, Nana and friends can play slow, but compared to the start of what we saw in Ascent, this feels like there is more of a method to the madness. They're trying to burn
30
as
seconds
much
left.
utility as possible from the hero KDA. Make it a bit easier for them to actually push onto the site, given the fact that it's going to be a little bit dry on how they actually go for the execute. Eventually, though, it's intel here for the hero KDA. They know that it will be a B-side take. Nana and friends running out of time. All eyes are on Iceling here. She goes for the star setup and still wins the duel anyway. Iceling is amazing. Snowkey with the slam dunk. And from the heavens, it will be the hero KDA soaring into another round. We get tied up because of it.
I can hold an area pretty well myself. Make sure to get angles I can't.
On Earth! What's that? It looked like Nana and friends had everything right, baiting out all the smokes, the Trailblazer, the flashes. It also looked like they had an idea where Ashling's pathing was going to be. They put down all those utilities, but then suddenly the explosive play from the hero KDA just tore everything apart. And that's exactly what we wanted to see from the hero KDA, the signature that we saw from Open 2.
Look, that was in the most literal sense. That showstopper
Truly.
from the skies. Just absolutely crushing Nana and friends as soon as Snowkey lands. We're still tied up though, and Nana and friends, they have a hero rifle and a half bite to work with for Sindari. Sheriffs for everyone else on the eco. And Snowkey now. We saw this a while ago on the attacking side. Now on the defense, it makes a bit more sense. Trying to hide towards the angle here, towards main. Cupcake though with one. Angela, okay. Nana and friends. I think they forgot the memo that they're on a more thirsty state right now here, Tash. And because of it, they get 2 kills for free.
Oh, that was just a little bit too aggressive for Hannah knows, and here comes the rolling thunder, a flash to really just supplement that. Unfortunately for them, Olulu does find Loki in the backside. Angela not hitting that showstopper, not happening quite yet. Eyes will be going down, and so does Cupcake. Hannah feeling really good right now. Gonna reconvene with the teammates, but gets caught off here by Sindari. A little bit of an upgrade there, the minima on top of that.
30
Getting a
seconds
little bit of a
left.
buff, just buying some time. They just gonna slowly push through the wall, and Olulu does not miss playing aim labs on NAF.
Just stops them dead in their tracks, and the hero KDA retake the lead. That was just such a showcase though from Hannah and Olulu again. To begin with, the call from Hannah to immediately go for the Rolling Thunder and back on away, it gives them a bit more control towards the CT side, and perhaps that's why Hannah got caught out later on, expecting that this was covered already by the rest of her team. Instead though, Olulu took matters to their own hands, went for the side, made sure that the swing from the wall was covered, and she gets both of them at the very end. So the hero KDA, these calls, these micro plays here are giving them these chances so far in such a tight series.
Olulu still playing the mid side. She's been really good at holding this, just playing with the utilities. But with this time, Snowkey. One flash all it needs. Perhaps we can go for a pick. Maybe even 2. Gets the info. But no follow-up quite yet.
Now. Contact here
Oh,
Still
Cupcake.
finding Iceling. Okay, that's a good beginning here for Nana and friends.
Oh, they're going
single
aggressive.
time they get the catch, but you mentioned it, going aggressive now towards
They
that
didn't
B side here
check.
for the hero KDA.
Oh, this
no.
could be huge for
This is
Sinderi.
so-
Snowkey
this is
just
so
throws
smart.
the pink shells, but here comes the sprays from above. A strawberry bagel finds Angela on the first pick. Sinderi tries to make it happen. Does get found out from Raptors. Yuki all alone from Garage. What can she do in this situation? Her teammates all the way thinking about it, running to A. Can they do that? Do they have time? They try to fake it 35 seconds, but the bait not
30
eaten at
seconds
all
left.
by the members of THK.
It was covered immediately by the hero KDA. And just somehow, you could see the plan for Nana and friends. Try to fake out the opposition, make them overcommit towards that B side, and suddenly get the flank going. Didn't happen. It's covered here by the hero KDA, and it will be a
10
forced
seconds
save
left.
for Nana and friends. What another showcase though from the hero KDA. This is exactly the standard that we expect from them, and they're 2 rounds away from forcing a 3rd map.
What a tug of war between these two teams. Like, I really wanted to say that both teams are just so adept on both attack and defense. It's just a game of outplays, outreads, out-timing.
Hasn't that been the case so far? And just out of nowhere, it's the hero KDA in control. He suddenly thought that Nana and friends, they had a handle, they had that 3-round streak, but one of the biggest strengths of the hero KDA is that resiliency. They bring it back to their own 3-round streak. They get the big step-up plays from Olulu and Hannah, but I also want to give big props to Snowkey right now. Not only the attacking side, but here on the defense, she provides such a big safety net with the initial actions that she takes versus Nani and friends. From that point on, since he becomes that front line that's a little bit more advanced to what the hero KDA initially had, it allows players like Iceling, players like Olulu to reset themselves and play for a better position later into these rounds.
Seeing a very different style of play. I mean, when I look at Bagel, what I expect is for her to be on that lurk to get the timing, but instead it's been more Ashling than anything. And I see why. Strawberry Bagel, her utility was just meant for contact, for them to swing off. It's been very pivotal for providing the information, whether it be on very aggressive areas like A main or B main just to buy time, or even toward the mid side if say they were to make contact.
Nana and friends, they have to find a way to get the answers going here. And speaking of, interesting enough, Sindari's still in spawn right now, so if it's not any technical issues, she's just waiting for someone. Okay, there, she's ready.
There.
Probably had a drink break.
Yeah, probably still wasn't ready. Now they go once the green light has already been set. And then Nana and friends, well, they're just gonna go for a push towards A here. They look for that ramp's control. The flash gets confirmation. Someone's still in tower, and Hannah will disengage because of it. One bot broken. Trailblazers there too. Wall is up, and Nana and friends now moving towards the side here.
Wait, Snooki, her timing might be huge. Oh, the wall. That's by time she's gonna break it. Might want to wait for the right timing. Angela on the side. Unfortunately, the satchel just gets broken by that wall. Does spell her doom. Will be turned out by Sindari. Lulu is for the backside, but Strawberry Bagel as well is there to cover her teammates. Sindari left in a situation all alone. How on earth are they supposed to get up to Haven to pick up that spike where all those crosshairs are just pointed at
30
one
seconds
singular direction? They know exactly where they're going to be coming from. But she pops hit. She pops two. She pops three. Who needs a teammate when you can just pop heads?
Well, shout out to Sindari with the backstab too, but Copy Cake, just a cherry on top there with those stellar shots. You already saw for the hero KDA, they felt so secure, Tash, because they had the spike in their clutches. The only one watching towards ramps initially was Angela, and that was, or rather, that was Snowkey. And then that's all that Copy Cake needed to play off from. Suddenly, she just finds the heads, taps away onto one, a second, a third after the swing, and from that point on, Nana and friends again, just winning with authority.
Oh man, Cupcake, did you see those micro adjustments? Her movement was just so good, it makes it almost impossible to tap her head. And having that man advantage and full control of Heaven and losing that? I don't know, man. That's devastating.
Yeah, well, the Hero KDA, we've seen them though recover from situations like this before. However, it was the problem versus Neons that led to their loss in overtime on that last map. Will it be the same here versus Nana and friends? One player though, keep it cool yet again. Hannah on the side, her reposition was strong in the last round. Snowkey though, a bit of deja vu, looking to break down this wall. And as it does drop, it will be Sindari and Izzy who find their target. So 4v3 for the time being. Here comes the heal as well as the res, and that's the value of the Sage. Give the advantage back to Nana and friends. Keep an eye out though. Bagels here by the screens. Sindari spots her 4 HP left, and the flank now is spotted. Hannah will fall. Copyking knows that angle too well, Tash. And from this point on, it's just Nana and friends in control.
Just really taking their time. Sindari, look at that movement. Peeks out a little bit, sends some. And Sindari catches Aisling in that mid rotation with Strawberry Bagel with only 4 HP and a lockdown. She has a dream, but the question is whether or not she can achieve it. 3 members just spotting right at her from so many different angles. What are you going to do? Making sure no one is just flanking her. Kind of making her way back to the site. Will she save? Will she decide to go aggressive? A save might be important, but Sindari probably just spot her first.
Yeah, the call is not up to her. With 4 HP, there's no way you're gonna survive that. And Sindari, a triple kill too, to end it on a high note. It was a strong beginning here versus the Raze again. And not only that, realizing perhaps someone can actually be a bit more quiet here. Distraction only being made by Snowkey. Overall though, Tash, that last round statement from Nana and friends, this is how you hold on a Heaven. They just kept tabs of everything that went wrong for the Hero KD a while ago and did it right. And that's one of the beautiful things that we see here from Nana and friends. Just the fact that they're so well coordinated in calling these kind of plays that they know how to adjust on a dime together.
It honestly felt like momentum was in Nana and friends' hands. But it's still an 11-11 score.
It's still so close.
It's still so
winnable.
close. It just feels like Nana and friends are getting so many rounds because they chained so many rounds in a row before the Hero KDA take it back. These two teams are definitely teams that thrive on momentum, that thrive on feeling good about themselves. But honestly, the big, I think, hero for the Hero KDA right now has been Olulu. She's almost an unstoppable, unmovable force. When she wants to hold her ground, she can go for those 3 big frags. Just playing off her own flashes.
I agree with you because we see her not only set things up so well for Snowkey, her guiding lights have led that race to success, but also just some incredible moments, that clutch versus the Cosmic Divide duo swinging in, the way that she's able to get multi-kill after multi-kill as well. Perhaps really here, the Hero KDA, their IGL can be their protagonist as well. Guiding light though again, the flash looking to find a bit of intel. Nuki setting up with the Trailblazer. We've seen this before though from the Hero KDA. Now Nana and friends will look to do the same. Cosmic Divide to cover the cross. Angela on the board, Sindari's there too, and is already looking convincing. Hannah though up close. The wall is up and Hannah has been lifted to the high heavens, and even more so. No way, no how. It's Nana and friends so prepared. Bagel blocked by the wall. And it really just feels like it's up to Snowkey to get some impact. She gets one sure. But in the 4v1, what are the odds of this happening here for Hero KDA, Tash?
With a judge,
HP?
not a lot. Not a lot. But that speed caught the Hero KDA off guard. Because usually you see a lot of lurks coming from mid, coming from A main, sussing out B garage. But this time around they said, you know what? We've done that so much. Let's W key straight onto the site with the Cosmic Divide. And it worked out so well in their favor because they had so much control of that space. A lot of denial as well. They played so well with just that wall. Not a lot of utility were honestly burned from the side of Nana and friends.
I mean, look, they have a wall that they can use all the time. They said, why don't we use the bigger wall? And Nana and friends, this is looking to be their moment of glory. 1 round away for them to eliminate the Hero KDA. But of course, Snowkey wants to say something about that.
No value.
Sewers though, for the showstopper. Doesn't find anyone or anything. Sindari, what an angle! When do you see this coming? And Sindari surprises Aisling enough to actually get that first kill. Rolling Thunder is the play. Hannah now looking to answer. Bagel and Hannah do get the kills. Bagel waking up when she's needed the most. She's been quiet so far, but with the lockdown into play, she finds the impact. It's 2v3 though, and Hannah looking to at the very least support it again. Bagel still inside the smoke. Spike seen here by the hero KDA. The flash is there too. And they try to check out Garage, but Nuki Tash is the one to watch out for. Gets the intel already. Snowkey keeping tabs on her alongside her teammate, but Bagel will fall to Izzy. Eventually, Nana and friends causing enough of a distraction to isolate these angles. 2v2, the spray is there. And Nana and friends looking to find opportunity with Nuki again.
Oh, Nuki just really so opportunistic. Nuki just slowly looking forward, but Snowkey, she can tap heads. We play with her teammates, they know exactly where Eyes is. Nice little aftershock. Clear her away. Buy some time alongside the util. If she can isolate this fight, it'll be huge. She does get one. Moving forward, Hannah. We have seen some insane clutches, and she does. And we are going to overtime.
Oh, come on, that's Hannah for you. So ready and so prepared. Having that Rolling Thunder to just set the tempo of the round. But this looked to be such an interesting start here for Nana and friends. Didn't expect Sendari to actually play on top of that wall.
That was a nasty wall, actually.
Look, it only really works one time in the game. That was the one.
They chose the perfect timing for it. The best timing.
But you know who also chose to step up during that round?
Hannah?
It had to be... Besides Hannah, of course, it had to be Bagel.
Yeah,
the fact that she was able to get those kills in the middle of the round give still the hero KDA a plot of land to work with onto that B side. It just goes to show, while she has been a bit struggling compared to some of her other outings, you know that greatness is in her. You know that greatness is in the hero KDA. And it's a big reason why the hero KDA is a team that can recover at any given round.
Honestly, I was so sure that Nana and friends was just gonna go down because they were at a man advantage that particular round. But just Nana and friends are so good at these aim duels, at these isolated fights. They know how exactly to play these corners, these angles, these adjustments. It's just so scary when you go up in these aim duels with them. But in that situation, it felt like Bagel, with a lot of pressure on her shoulders, tends to thrive. She was able to really step up for the team. Regardless, as we go into this overtime, Nana and friends gonna go for that defense side first, which is the, I would say, the best side for this particular map.
I mean, it's the best side for them. We still have seen how slow it takes for them to actually cross towards the sites themselves. It takes, what, Cosmic Divides to keep them safe. It takes some Barrier Orbs to just make sure that they are alive enough to fight when they're on the attack. Given that, though, the hero
Angela's
KDA...
smiling.
Yeah, I mean, the hero
I think they
KDA,
have something in mind.
They're feeling happy about that last round. We've seen this before from them. Just a single round is enough for positive vibes, but...
That was exactly why she was smiling! It was foreshadowing,
no.
Dax!
Oh no, Angela, wherefore art thou? She's so prepped for it, and now, because of this, you know what else is scary? You also have Izzy here playing towards mid. If they don't check this corner, it might be another free pick here, courtesy of Nana and friends.
She hasn't moved at all. Flash come through. Hannah, she knows there's someone moving forward. She doesn't check. That orb sort of helps her buy some time.
In the cloud.
They're moving up. Do they check her? They don't! She didn't really see her, but Snowkey got her in the end. Fool me once! Not
Double
twice!
take.
And they're just gonna explode onto A side.
Oh, she learned her lesson from the SMG side a while ago. Now that she knew and Snowkey on the board, they remembered what happened towards Mail in that second round. Now they have a chance here for the hero KDA to pivot their way towards B. Over onto the side though, Sendari tucked away at the corner, playing the default herself. Traps on Hannah, gets a second big damage here from Sendari, and it's up to Bagel to get the job done. 1v2 though, and the pain shows are primed. Here comes the star as well, two from the top side, and it will still be Angela dropping down. Boom, but gets confirmation. The pillar is all that Bagel can play from. Swarm also. Together, they're lining up, but no way, no how. Cupcake denies of that hope. Nana and friends are back on series point here.
I think we already know. If Angela smiles, you run. You run the other way.
Switching sides.
That was a dry peek. Are you kidding me? No support, nothing. She gets away with that.
Somehow, it's always those moments where you have to say, somehow, Tash, they still win it. They still get it done. And timeout right now for the Hero KDA. They can't afford to crumble like they did in the upper bracket. This is their last shot to survive.
This is their last shot this year to make it to Elite 2. If you're
True.
remembering, the Hero KDA tried to participate in all 3 opens, did not manage to get into Open 3. Hannah, one of the most, I would say, experienced player from the Hero KDA, played for a long time, different teams. Olulu as well, and Snooki has been together in one team as well. Quite surprised to see these 2 teams coming together, but honestly, looks so good. And Nana and friends, I think under Nuki's big experience as well in competing, like it really does show in their gameplay. Mental-wise, I think Nana and friends look a little bit better in terms of making sure they're unshakable.
I think this is the best form we've seen from Nana and friends.
It's true.
Even under different banners, different names over the past few opens, they've really acclimated well to the LCQ climate. They've done so much work together to coordinate as much as possible. And, well, their efforts rewarded here so far, Tash. They're 1 away from eliminating the team that was flawless in the Swiss stage, from eliminating the Hero KDA. And I do wonder, what's the play now for Hero KDA? Who can step up when they need to the most?
Sometimes it's not about worrying too much whether or not you had a flawless run. It's what you learn from that run. And I think that Nana and Friends is just one of those teams that adapted. They played so many games on Ascent, on Split. Every round, they seem to adapt so well. And yesterday, I was just criticizing them for being very one-dimensional. Today, a whole new team.
Yeah, a whole new world and all the possibilities, but Snooki will shut down one of those realities as Angela will fall first and foremost. Sindari, though, with the wall, blocking away from the ropes. And this time around, it's Olulu here by screens, keeping tabs perhaps and trying to help out Hannah in a potential crossfire. Desperately, though, needed to be checked. And that's exactly what Sindari does, but she drops down just to die. Yuki, though, with the trade still, it will be Olulu moving towards the side, and she gets everyone and anyone that will challenge her. 2 already down, 1 more to go. Yuki inside the smoke, looking to go for the wraparound, but the classic is all she needs. The free gun for 1 final kill. We go again.
The best gun is the free gun, honestly. And Olulu, once again, phenomenal job at anchoring, does not move. She stands there, she will not be moved from the area. Just great adjustments coming through from Olulu as well as the usage of her utility. And I have to say that Olulu has been doing so well at just buying so much time for her teammates to just catch up. And now we go again, 13-13 from both these teams. Both these teams used their timeouts. But the question is whether or not they found the answers. Because clearly one team is better at attack and one team better at defense.
Yeah, well, it might just be a matter of composition. It might just be a matter of reposition. And we've seen that from the Hero KDA multiple times. If they can find better swing angles, you know that's where they can thrive. Speaking of them now, playing towards the garage as a trio. You also have middle being held by Snooki. So at the very least, the Flash will get intel. But will it be enough for Nat and friends to suss out what's going on?
This time around, they clear out the little angle. They throw the paint shell, making sure no one's there. Poison orb as well, just to buy time. Sindari hasn't moved at all. Slowly but surely, I think they must have heard something. It's gonna be working on this aftershock just cleared out as well as the fault line, and immediately Snooki pulled into. Unfortunately, not able to get that movement onto the side. Sindari in this corner spots 1, not enough for 2. Yuki answers, and it's trades on trades from both sides.
Yeah, 3v3 for the time being, as still the Hero KDA navigate through to the other side. Angela, though, waiting towards the alley, and it will be the mugging of her instead. Olulu falls, or rather, Olulu gets the kill, and from that point on, it's 3v2 advantage here for the Hero KDA. Olulu has stepped up so well so far, but now Cupcake will answer back. Eventually, it's duo versus duo. Single duels in the alley, and Iceling's ready for her instead. Is he now all alone? Might get sandwiched, might get pinched. And the wrap around there, the ring around for Strawberry Bagel, just to regroup with her teammate instead. Buying time there with the Nano Swarm. A second one making it even tougher. The snake bite into play. The gravity well is the answer. And as Izzy's running out of time, she's gonna run out of chats. Big kill sure, but it's not enough. Iceling will finalize the deal. It's the Hero KDA on match point instead.
Switching sides.
When winning that attack side has been massive for the hero KDA, and if they can win this defense, that would be endgame and map number 3. But you can see how scrappy this particular round was. It was fights over on main, fights over on CT. It hasn't really been a full 5-on-5. Yes, Noki wasn't able to get on site, but you have to really give it to the hero KDA. When one teammate falls down, the others step up.
I think my concern here for Nana and friends, they had to play with the slow orb and the gravity well. Perhaps, maybe if they just went for the swing instead, rather than still hold those angles, could have been their better chance to get the kills. It's just a bit of hindsight thinking. But we've seen from Nana and friends on the defense, that's one thing that they have relied on a little bit too much. Playing passive because of their initial utility. Now that they're on the attack, they go for the main shields to flush out Alulu. So somehow though, she still survives. The flash is there, and here comes Angela as well, crossing towards screen. Snowkey with the find. Answer back from Cupcake onto the side. Two are holding. Cupcake will cross and still go for the shot. And the flash is there, and Alulu's ready. 2v2 now. Damage done yet again. And as you see, Alulu tried to hold the corner. She is just absolutely unstoppable! No one can beat Alulu! And the hero KDA survive for another map. We go for a decider.
If you see Alulu on A site, best believe you are not gonna be getting that site. And overtime, a tug of war between these two teams. Just show us how just a little bit edge the hero KDA has over Nana and friends. Regardless, both teams have won their map picks. The decider is still the question.
I just want to say though, did you see those cams at the end, Tash? Oh, that was so much relief. So many happy vibes from the hero KDA when they had their own hero on that roster with Alulu. Well, the panel's gonna be breaking it down, so I'm gonna hop on over to that side and join Jenny. See you on the other side, Tash. Let's go over there. See, I'm back.
Welcome back to the Desk Decks. This map was an absolute nail-biter start to finish. 6-6 to 8-8 to 11-11, 13-13, all the way to the very end. And I mean, this could have gone absolutely either way.
It could have. It went to overtime. It went to double overtime. But in the end, all is well for Alulu and the rest. Just what we saw there from the hero KDA. Recovery, sure, on a round-per-round basis when you'd see Nana and friends try to run away with it. But they realized in those scrappy situations that they are the ones who have a few of those micro calls that work out better. When it comes down to 3v3s, 2v2s, that's where they thrive, and we saw how clutch they could be at the end of the map.
Absolutely, and I really think both of these teams, just all-team players, showed up so strong on the overtime. I mean, props to Nana and friends, they came into overtime with that plan, especially in that round 1 with Angela cooking up her mama's recipe on split, Hannah as well, when they were down 12-11, the 1v1 with Izzy to clutch it, to bring it to overtime to begin with. I mean, what a good map. I'm just so excited to be able to see a third map from both these two teams.
Yeah, it was such a strong showing from both of these squads. I do feel like though for Nana and friends, while they found the answers on the attack, that they could find at least a way to navigate towards the sites, it was a bit more of that over-reliance to what they have in the bag that led to their demise. I still wonder if they could have actually just played off some of the sets that they've had in the first place, some of the traps that they already had. Could it have been them getting the advantage instead? Because when you had the hero KDA putting themselves in those 50-50 angles, more so than not, they had the players that can handle those situations.
I'm also almost sad that Nana and friends lost, because if they had won map 2, that mean we'd get the Sage MVP on Split. I'm not sure if Nana and friends made the Sage happen, or if it's just Sundari making the Sage happen, just, you know, carrying that Sage back into relevance. On Split, there was that round. She got that 3K as well when it looked like the hero KDA were like running away with things at 9-11. Whew. But of course, The hero KDA, Lulu is going to bag that MVP on the sky. 28.8 headshot percentage, 295 ACS, and 29 kills, almost making it to that 30. I mean, we did see overtime, but 29 is a pretty high score, Dax.
Yeah, Lulu was just such a defining factor of this game. Not only did she get so many kills, but so many assists as well. Everything that you could ask from a Sky. Set up with the flashes and help out. The raise, check. Survive the reposition alongside the breach, check. And just absolutely be clutch at all the calls and all the plays. Check, check, check. You saw the celebrations there, Jenny, near the tail end, or rather on the player cams. It was just that effort rewarded, victory taken, and all the hugs and all the love to what we saw there from that Sky. Just the hero KDA getting one to step up when they needed to the most.
Yeah, and one of my absolute favorite things about the hero KDA is their name tags, because THE, you know, it's pretty much the Lulu, the Snooki, the Strawberry Bagel. Like, you gotta give these girls the respect that they deserve, because they absolutely earned it. And whew, we got a series on our hands, everyone. We're gonna go for a very short break before we come back with that all-important Fracture Map 3.
One enemy.
money in the bank. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the 808.
Hi guys, we are back for map number 3 of series 1. We were so excited for this decider map number 3 that we got rid of Dax. Hi Zach.
Yeah, desk Dax, thank you very much for stepping in the middle and saving me, but I am back for this map number 3, and what a time to jump in, Jenny. I was keeping an eye on those first couple of maps, and let's just say that both of these teams, they've been giving us quite a show, especially on Split, with Ululu stepping up in that fourth quarter to be able to push that team to a map number 3.
Absolutely. We did replace Desk Dax with Desk Zach. So all is right with the world. I like how you're saying that, you know, when you're looking at the earlier 2 maps as well, give us your thoughts for how you think this map 3 is going to go, because we've been predicting the entire series that if this does go to that 1-1 to that map 3, then we're kind of feel like the Hero KDA will be able to eke this one out on a map that they're so familiar on. What do you think?
I mean, statistically, if you look at the times that both of these teams have played this in LCQ, they have a pretty even win-loss rate. Like for Nana and Friends, they played it twice, they won it once, they lost it once, so they have a pretty even record heading into this one. But for the Hero KDA, certainly they're the more experienced team when it does come to this Fracture pick. The only problem is that they've been kind of going through a L streak here in this particular tournament. Sure, they were able to win it the first 2 times they played it, but the last couple of times, it's just been unfortunate loss after loss. In fact, it was their loss on Fracture to Neons that put them in this lower bracket in the first place on that map 3. So definitely when it comes to Fracture deciders, the last 2 times the Hero KDA, they've been kind of struggling, but hey, maybe third time's a charm, because that's what we have coming up next.
Exactly. If there's any time that they gotta stick it up, it's gotta be now when elimination is on the line. And I love that you brought up how, you know, this was the map that they lost that 14-12 versus Neons yesterday. And we were saying that, you know, if this does go to that map 3, sure, Fracture is the map that the Hero KDA have played the most of, but it's so soon to that loss yesterday. Like, have they recovered enough mentally from that? Plus today's map 1 and 2, it's been such a tough series. Map 2 also went into that overtime. They just barely eked it out, 15 and 13. I don't know. I feel like it's just anyone's game at this point. Looking at the agent composition, THK are going to go for the composition that they do favor the most over on Fracture. I believe they have played this exact competition more than 10 times competitively. And Nana and Friends also, yep, it is going to be just comfort compositions all around, and it's going to be the mirror matchup too.
Yeah, pretty much. What I like about mirror matchups is that it just comes down to whoever's playing better that day. Maybe you have a couple of strats cooked up and everything, but you can't really say that, yeah, X Asian made a huge difference, because at the end of the day, it is going to be the same picks coming in. And in particular, for the Hero KDA, I think that there's a lot of weight on the line. You talked about their 15-13 yesterday. You talked about their performance yesterday, and in their loss, they lost because they lost a 1v fight. So definitely some PTSD heading into this Fracture for this team. I think there's a lot on the line. You manage to win it, you stay in the game, you have one more shot at making it to Elite, but you lose here and you're out. And both teams, I'm pretty sure, are feeling that pressure on this map 3.
Absolutely. Well, the Hero KDA did take that L yesterday. We'll see if they can turn that L into a W. Of course, here to bring you guys all the action. Once again, it's Tash, Bunny, and Dax. Tash and Dax, take it away.
Oh, stakes high. pressure high. And what do you get out of that? Steak dinner.
No, well, it might be medium well, maybe well done.
Wow.
Maybe excellent sometimes, but you can't get rid of me, Jenny. I'm still here somehow, some way, and we are still here with our first series. Dax and Tash still together here, ladies and gents, and I'm honestly so excited for this one. Fracture is a map that's already so interesting for both of these teams. Well, let's talk about the Hero KDA, that Heartbreaker versus Neons, and truthfully, they struggled to find the win on Fracture in the playoffs. On the other hand, Nana and Friends, not the best history, but at least there is experience in playing it. And then we're gonna go for it. One more map to see who will move on to the next round of the lower brackets.
This is going to be very interesting. You have Nana and Friends, who just yesterday, I think me and the panel were just breaking down how I would say their weakness is this very one-dimensional default style gameplay. And today they have this really insane set plays and protocols come through, which really shocked me. And honestly, if you asked me yesterday, if Nana and Friends can play Split, can play Fracture, I would say they're going to be struggling. But today, I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. That's the thing, Dash.
Definitely, yeah.
They made their mark in this series. But, of course, you know who was the one who made their mark last time around in the last map? Who was Olulu. Here comes the Hero KDA going for the contact. Beautiful flash, though, and Angela! Just the overrun! No matter what, from right to left, she clears them all, and the Hero KDA need to retreat as a response.
She presses D! She moves forward and just spam heads with the help of her teammates, of course.
It's not press W anymore. It's press D and strafe to victory. And as we get it here, copy cake, distraction. Sindari's there. One shot from Bagel, but that's all she'll bag. And then Friends hold D to win it all.
Hold D to win it all. And what a read, honestly. They read it so well that it was going to be an arcade push. If it wasn't an arcade push, it was empty. Most likely they're just gonna straight up just beeline straight to the other side from drop. Technical pause though. We'll be seeing a remake of this round.
Nah.
Who knows at this point?
I don't think so. They got flashed. They got honestly immediately answered by Nana and Friends.
Yeah.
I do wonder what happened for the Hero KD for them to not be prepared for it. In the end, that's the proactivity of Fracture. Welcome to Fracture. Make a play as soon as the gate opens because this is how this map pretty much works.
Play aggressive or die on the site.
True. It's like a circle. It's like a ring and you can go...
What about the
We're gonna
rope
run the
though? What
Rosie.
do you call the rope?
Huh?
I
Tash.
mean you cast it with
Tash.
Komodo, right? You cast it with Komodo, right?
No, I mean, I talked
I mean,
to the
you
guy.
talked to him, right? Did you
I
watch
talked
his...
a lot to the guy. I got to watch his
cast,
finger works.
yeah.
He was just like,
Wow.
I'm gonna draw a line here.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Tash, do you not
I was
know
gonna
what
say... No, I was gonna
Okay,
say that
Uh-huh.
Komodo calls the rope the no-no rope. Can you say it in an
Ah.
Aussie accent?
Nah.
The no-no rope.
The
Oh, he's gonna
no-no
kill
rope.
me for this! Do not
Good
send
eye.
this to him!
Good eye. This is a no speak from Tash Bunny. There you go. And I'm sorry to everyone who had to hear that. All I wanted to say though, Tash, was
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't know what the circumference of a circle is.
Huh?
That's what,
The
the
outside
rope.
area, yeah, the ring!
What?
Yeah, the outside. That's a circumference. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You said I
Yeah?
don't know. I know.
Okay.
Listen, I
Do you
learned
know-
circles in school. Okay, I went to school. Unlike you, Dax. Stayed
Okay,
home
so-
and played Valorant all day. Don't be like
no,
Dax, kids.
No. I'm not even level 100. I think I gotta ask you though.
Huh.
So, the map is the circumference of the circle, right? What
Right.
is the diameter of Fracture?
It's from where the Killjoy is standing all the way to, well, a little bit of the Fade, I guess.
It's pretty much the rope, basically. It's pretty
Oh,
much the no-no.
yes!
See, it all comes back full circle. And as we have stalled enough for the technical pause, we're back into the game. Anti-Eco, Bulldogs at the ready, and I think it's something you talked to me about a while ago. That Nana and Friends, when they're on an Anti-Eco, they really invest as much as they can.
Yeah, they love these small snowball situations. Izzy on the site. And what you're trying to do here is to have her teammate just try and distract them. She's going to swing out based on her util. But it's underpass is where they want to go for. Just straight up to the other side. Perhaps go straight maybe to her drop. I think it is. I think it's going to be a drop.
Yeah, it does seem like they want to play Perhaps lurking towards drop. Go for the pivot there if
No,
ever.
it's arcade. Oh, they spot her out.
Down.
That's the thing. So they're gonna
TP the
peek arcade.
turret. Why do you got to snitch?
That's his job. That's what the sixth man does. But the thing is,
Oh, it's a
the
man
Hero
now.
KDA, the sixth turret, whatever you wanna call it. Okay, the sixth player, fine. It's true. Okay. I was just gonna say they wanted to peek that so they could reconvene this way towards A. A pitch
Yeah.
is possible now, Tash.
I think I've noticed that Nana and friends, sorry, the Hero KDA can do this insane rotation, just take the long way around, just really clear and find out what they can. But you know that Ruba will go on chase by Cupcake and Angela, just doing so much work. Doesn't matter if you're gonna try and play the sneaky play or the long way play. If they're holding the side, they do not move.
Why did it sound like you wanted to sing her name, Angela?
Yeah, we sang it. Thanks.
Yeah,
thanks.
that was that's harmonic.
That
I
was
love it. I
beautiful.
love it.
Thank
That
you, my
was-
Filipino friend. It's in your genes.
Okay, no problem, Malaysian. Thing is though, Angela is the one to watch for right now. And a map like Fracture, it's easy to get orb control, and especially as she's one away from the showstopper. I wouldn't be surprised to see them play aggressive here, Tash, and you can see already, arcade is where danger may happen.
Honestly, for Nana and friends, they need to play aggressive. They don't have the range advantage like you do with those rifles, so they want to take advantage of their guns as much as they can. Now, this is going to be read so perfectly by the Hero KDA. Look how they have just immediately moved backwards. They've seen it twice in a row now, how exactly Nana and friends have been pushing, and it gives them all the information they need to just immediately get onto A side.
Did you see the minimap a while ago? It was just pink before the round even started. And now Snowkey here looking to find a bit of impact. It's all about ropes for Nana and friends instead. And perhaps it might be Strawberry Bagel. One to watch out for. Up close with Phantom finding two, even with spray on the third. Doesn't matter if there's a smoke, because she will handle it all. And Cupcake, there's at least one here for Nana and friends. Beyond that, it's the Hero KDA looking convincing for their buy round.
That's a really good buy around, honestly. Only losing one in that particular situation. So they were able to buy back for Lulu anyway. And now, in this situation for Nana and friends, they already have a few, I think one ultimate online. And that can give them so much value. What I really want to see from Nana and friends in this round, if possible, especially on defensive side, is that if you're able to play Shepherd, where you herd the enemy into one area, just pincer them in that area. And I think it could be very devastating, especially with Angela's ultimate.
What an analogy. Old Maktashi had a farm.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you took that as a compliment. The thing
I've
is,
always
though,
wanted a farm.
well, let's see now how the Hero KDA will look to stampede towards the B site instead. They do have two ultimates to utilize, the Auto Strike and the Lockdown. Strong for the post plant if ever. We've seen it from them though. They go for the orb now after they get smoked off. While this happens, tunnels being taken, so perhaps this will be the lockdown here from Bagel. Watch out for Nana and friends. They're already by spawn. Cupcake Nuki, they're prepared. Traded by Ice Link to make it 3v3. And as the smoke is out, the problem here for the Hero KDA, they're now forced to go towards B, where Nana and friends are awaiting. Balli's out.
That's a lot of
Nana's
damage.
farms too. Yeah, ankle's broken. Izzy burning Olulu, and I guess the saving grace is the lockdown that the Hero KDA has here.
Yep, they're not gonna get that
Spike plant.
plant. On top of that, they do have some utility by time. Molly, Orbital Spike, everything can be used. Smokes as well, just to really deny them that information. Sanderi, we've seen her pop pits, we've seen her play these insane clutches, but whether or not she can do it is gonna be the question. Strawberry Bagel will be happy to move out of the way. A swing out there by Eyes, just so nasty play behind her turret.
Showstopper?
But Showstopper comes out, catches her teammate offline. Not her teammate, but rather Ashling. And a clean round. Nana and
you
friends,
see-
take it back. Only
Did you see this?
the what?
Did you see the signature Angela smile?
Yes.
Whenever the grin starts to form on the player cam,
run.
you know,
It's
you know something
foreshadowing.
is up.
She just smiles. She's like, "Hello, ladies. How many of you are gonna find you here? Oh, just
It's-
one. Good enough. I'll take it."
It's frightening, honestly, but such a good clear by Nana and friends. They recover so quickly, back with the buys, now with the rifles.
Turret
And
out.
what we've seen so far is, on their defense, they're just getting some strong raids versus the Hero KDA and being so much more active compared to what we saw on the last map.
For sure. I think they already knew what exactly they want to do on this particular map. Angela, this is huge. Getting these orbs is pivotal. And you can see that Snooki was actually foregoing that, possibly gonna give that orb to her teammate. Clears out towers, has almost full control of the site, and Nana and friends opting to play retakes.
Yeah, in the smoke for the time being. Interesting enough, though, the Hero KDA do forfeit this B site with the tower control instead. The lurk from Bagel opens up that A, so this will be a wraparound now for the Hero KDA. A long rotation, and Nan and friends, they're double guessing themselves. They're gonna be backing off for the time being and look to just play from halls instead. This will be the Hero KDA taking the site here, Tash.
3 and halls can be pushed out if they want to, but it's gonna be really hard. Smoke's not giving that information, but no one is actually setting their eyes onto the area. They're instead playing.
Sidari?
Yeah.
We're watching Sidari. That lurk is going to be effective if ever. Nightfall now into play. Bagel has to run away, and Sindari's just looking for the timing. Spotted though quickly, but Sindari still wins the duel anyway. 4v4 for the time being. And as Nuki looks to take the high ground, it's Nana and friends with side control for the time being. Orbital Strike though is the call from Aisling. Gets back her hearing, and now let's rip the ultimate. That's a stall answered back by the laser from the heavens on the other side. Cupcake though on the defuse as the Hero KDA look for the kills. Hannah hunts and destroys. It's a Hero KDA with a second.
Dang. Didn't know there was the hash slinging slasher here on this map. Like you and Black and Blue said. Hash slinging slasher.
Hannah slinging.
No, it wasn't Hannah, it was Cupcake.
It was Cupcake.
Look at that. Yo!
Oh!
Good form!
Okay, I get it. See it. I see it.
Anyways, good round if you think about it. I honestly am amazed at these two teams. They're willing to go for these very, very long rotations. They're not afraid to take up space. This is very different than what we saw from the Hero KDA in the earlier rounds on Split. And for now, Snooki is just slowly fighting for her life, and so are the other members of NAF. So, stalemate there, but a pincer will be coming through, a trade, if you may, over this side of the map.
Yeah, we stay stalemate, I say entrapment. Now it will be a forced push here from the Hero KDA to play from drop instead. They also still have one play towards halls. Bagel has been playing a strong lurk so far, and Snooki with entry. Aisling also is there too to provide cover. Allows now the Hero KDA to get this site, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a save call here from Nana and friends. Hannah even finding Yuki along the way. Everything is going to Hero KDA.
Izzy? Eyes, rather, all alone. It's gonna be very hard. Look at that. 2 halls, 1 on site. It's a very nasty crossfire. And on top of that, you have 1 more already on the B side, just to make sure that if she tries to save, she will be caught out. I think for Eyes right now, the best plan, a call to action, is just to go and save, and I think that's exactly what she's going to do. Now, for Nana and friends, I think as soon as they find an answer, this adjustments by the Hero KDA, oh my god, I keep saying Hannah and friends, has just been phenomenal, honestly, when you think about it. Snooki in this particular map, you really see her shine as the duelist. There's just so much, it's just a smaller map, so she doesn't have to really take too much time to satchel in, and she's not afraid to just really get up close and personal. Her on the judge, painful.
Yeah, she's just not afraid whatsoever to provide that moment, to provide that opening here for the Hero KDA. And that's one thing we've seen so far from this roster. They don't rely on the duelist to get the kill itself, but just given the fact that she can jump on the opposition, find the frag anyway, it really goes to show here for the Hero KDA, that's why she's the one in the front line.
On top of that, I think the last 2 rounds, it felt like Strawberry Bagel was mostly playing with her teammates. Her util was more for playing contact, but we're seeing more proactive lurks from her. Good holds coming through, and I think that's been giving her a lot of value. Her timing for her lurks, especially toward rope side, has been pretty impeccable.
Just a moment here, and we're watching Izzy right now. Playing here towards Canteen, and utility being broken. The Hero KDA again, poking and prodding to begin these rounds. They trying to at least find someone off their footing and off their feet. Rolling Thunder into play. Showstoppers there too from Snooki. So reliable and so efficient. Sindari will fall. It's an opening made, and the Hero KDA They look to go for that B site, watching their backs right now as there's a flank from 2, courtesy of Nana and friends. Hannah realizes the sitch. She will back off onto the site instead. The fault line's there, and it's Nana and friends looking to go for the retake.
Angela? Not sure if she's just gonna satchel the site or just wait out these smokes. No smile seen this time around. Waiting for that answer. Lulu is here. Util ready. A flash. This will set her up for victory. Maybe an aftershock to buy some time. Cupcake pushes out. Spots up Hannah. Immediately. One out of the way. A fault line. Just to really deny. And Snowkey going through underpass. Trying to catch them off guard. Lulu does not miss. So sharp. Ashling from top side. Lulu finds one more. And I have to say, these girls completely sharp when it comes to taps.
It's always been the case for the Hero KDA. Not only that though, the lineup was set with the Molly. The post plant was so secure there for the Hero KDA. And they knew they didn't need to force that contact. Those calls that we saw from Hannah from Olulu to just back off, go towards the site instead rather than contesting the main flank that we saw from Nana and friends. Those are the situations where we see the Hero KDA prove they're even more so in control without needing to get these kills.
3 rounds in a row for the Hero KDA. You're not really seeing a set play or anything. It's quite standard when you think about it. It's just, they're just so explosive. They take their time, suss it out. And then suddenly you see Snowkey just burst on the site, and then suddenly it's a barrel of a gun or even a shotgun to your face, and suddenly you're down and out. And if you can see, I think I was saying earlier how Snowkey just wasn't able to play with her teammates on split. This time around, it's such a different situation. Snowkey comes in, immediately they burst in together, and there's no space between them. A lot of support is just really setting up Snowkey, not only up for success, but the whole team to be able to take sight and just keep Nana and friends out.
Yeah, they make sure that Snowkey will get value from her life every single round. Whether it's for the entry, whether it's for that first pick, it's something that the Hero KDA can use in their executes. Now that they have the lead, they're looking to try and run away with the usual streak that they're accustomed to. That's one thing we've seen in the series though. It's always about keeping tabs on the opposition. And Nana and friends, they're willing to go for the expedition from the arcade. Take that north side. A big call though from the Hero KDA to look to pan out. They're moving towards A. The Nightfall gets no info whatsoever. And this should be the call here for the Hero KDA as Olulu is unstoppable to just put that spike down and get the advantage.
Look at how Snowkey entered just now. She was not supported by her teammate. That is pure confidence, but will be shut down by Angela. Paint Shell, just to clear out these corners before they go inside. Just waiting out this utility, a flash to come through. But the other members of the Hero KDA just said, it's okay, just play on the site. Will be caught out, Hannah for 2, but Cupcake does answer back, finds Ashley. Clears out the corners with the Prowler, finds nothing. The Haunt will be used. Does it actually track anyone? No, it doesn't. No value point yet, but smokes are there to give some value. A little bit of information. Hannah will be taken down, and now it's just Strawberry Bagel all alone. Hannah on the backside as well, but Strawberry Bagel didn't even need to wait for her. And this time around, the Hero KDA keep the rounds going.
Once in position, you know it's all for naught. The Hero KDA, they set themselves up so well in these post plants right now. It's not just the fact that they're efficient at anchoring down the spike in the site, but you also see that they're making moments across the map to find another opportunity. We saw it from Hannah, we saw it from Olulu. As of right now, the Hero KDA, one strong thing that they're doing is they're not hesitating. They expect the push from Nana and friends, and if they're gonna be away from the fight itself, they will just hold W and go in. Speaking of, very likely to be the same case here, Tash, as now the hall's taken by the Hero KDA.
Same entry this time by Snowkey, and this time around, instead of pushing up, they're just gonna clear it out with those pain shells. Takes out Team the turret. Olulu with that flash comes out, but the Bucky Gaming returns. Sandari is the only player who would make that gun look so good as Head Up, which is out here. Does a spot on your gun. Yo, Eyes is just so low. She flicks onto Nuki. Can she find one more? Eyes with 1 HP. She still gets 1, but that's all enough that she needs to stop 1 hit. Angela answers back here, and now the Nightmare falls on the other members. But the Hero KDA does not look disgruntled at all.
Yeah, they just seem so confident still to put that spike down. Immediately though, Cupcake just going for the jiggle peaks. There we have the C's as well. Iceling has an inkling of what's going on. Molly up close. Iceling ready still to hold. It's Iceling now versus Cupcake. She's just going for the ring around again. And now it's Cupcake who gets the shot going. What a tap and what a win. Nana and friends, they've been finding these clutch situations more so in their favor. And a thrifty win to boot.
I have never seen any team play thrifties as good as Nana and friends. I don't know what it is that they have. Eyes in that situation. What? 1 HP, 4 HP. She still makes it work. She understands the implication of having a sheriff. 4 HP doesn't matter. If I die in one tap, they can too. And they bring their A game to the situation. I think it's the mindset as well, because some players, they think, okay, it's a deficit round. We get information. We just try our best to just really get and just let clues to play our set game with the rifle round. But for them, they know that every round matters and they make it count.
And look, they're already fighting here, ready to scrap beside the smoke. Oh, Lulu looking at the very least to find an angle for a flash if ever. And while Nana and friends are getting closer and closer, a single wall separating these two teams. Iceling Nuki getting a 1-for-1, the timing perfect. Cupcake also no fear. And the orbital strike to go for the disengage, but the damage has been done. Advantage here for Nana and friends. They're still sticking on the round right now, checking out tunnel if ever. But look at Strawberry Bagel, a different plan right now. Crossing through. I like the position from Cupcake, but she needs to be aware of the situation. Spot Strawberry Bagel, goodbye to her. Nuki also with the covering fire, and everything falling apart here for the hero KDA as Nana and friends makes the proactivity work.
They weren't expecting this aggression coming in from Nana and friends. Yes, we've seen some aggression come through, but never from main. Perhaps it's from drop, perhaps it's from arcade. But this time round, they decided to play aggressive. Just catch the bull by the horns.
Left.
If you want to say, I'm not sure if that was the right terminology. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
You're right, don't worry.
Regardless, for Ice, a very good round. And you did see that Strawberry Bagel did try to make that rotation come through and happen, but that, I would say, the game awareness, the map awareness
10
from Nana
seconds
and
left.
friends has been incredibly massive. They have every single angle and back covered.
Dash, it's okay.
I'm struggling, Dax.
You got your idioms right at least, taking the bull
I'm
by
so
the horns.
thankful, Dax. I'm so thankful.
Well, right now, Nana and friends, they're willing to play danger close. And from what we've seen so far, is when they get the right read of where the hero KDA actually are, it's just immediate success for them. They've been so strong on the initial contact. And I feel like that's why we're gonna get a timeout right here, right now. Perhaps from the hero KDA, because usually in those situations, hero KDA is like, oh, okay, cool, we can handle that, we can win those firefights. But Nana and friends have put them on notice, and the past 2 rounds have just been overwhelming from the likes of Cupcake, from the likes of Angela. You saw a while ago just the cover from the duo towards tunnel. Things are swinging back in Nana and friends' favor.
Truly, step up from Cupcake in this game has been phenomenal. Like, honestly, it's not really about the rifle rounds or her utility. It's just really that pure, raw aim that she has. Give her a Vandal, she will tap. Give her a Sheriff, she will tap. Whatever it is you put on this girl's hand, she will bring value with sparkles.
With sparkles.
With sparkles.
A bit of glitter too. Put it in the scrapbook. It's a moment to be made.
Exactly. That's
just
exactly that.
Look, the thing is though, Nana and friends are defying so many expectations already. From you yourself has been on the secondary stream watching these this team basically play
Every single day, number
Exactly.
1 fan, the dabbing cat.
And you said it yourself, they look so much more complete today compared
Yes,
to
they did.
any other day, and especially against some of the toughest competition. It's Shotty versus Shotty though, and it's the judge who wins it out. Snowkey on the board, looking to go for the push. Rifle in hand now, Sindari falls as well, and the hero KDA back to their overwhelming ways. This is a big confident round from them.
I think that that's what the hero KDA likes to do. Big, explosive plays, very in your face. But it's been denied so much by Nana and friends. But when it's executed perfectly, this is exactly what you can see. Angela, that's spot 1 out. Hannah goes down. But from top side, Snowkey will be the one to trade it out. Regardless, Strawberry Bagel, I have lineups. Let's see where it goes, baby girl.
Yeah, the post plants have been strong here for the Hero KDA. The Molly's there already. The Nana Swarm coming too, but Cupcake will find and clear tower. So a chance at least for Nana and friends. 2v3, the flash is there. A heroic endeavor here from Yuki. Gets one, couldn't get a second. Cupcake on the defuse Shooty. And Iceling will finish the job off. It's 6-5 as the Hero KDA will retake this lead.
Last round before the switch.
If you
Honestly,
save, spend it.
I was so sure that the round would be heavily in the Hero KDA's favor given how aggressive they got the site, but every single round looks so close between these two teams. It's rare that we see more than 2 people left alive. These two teams definitely have, I wouldn't say a very similar playstyle. Like the Hero KDA is more toward the aggressive playstyle, and NF likes to play a little bit more for the retakes. But I would say fighting style,
Out of charges.
very, very brawly between these two teams, and the Haunt spots out every single member of the Hero KDA, and they skedaddle out of that side straight into B.
Yeah, Skadoosh and the Orbital Strike's gonna be there instead to answer back to the lockdown. Suddenly, it's the Hero KDA going for the tower contest again, and Hana will spray down Sindari through the smoke. Here comes Yukino on the board. It's 4v4 for the time being. Watch out for the Rolling Thunder and the lockdown, but the Nightfall is the first one we see from the Hero KDE. Ice Stone with a find onto Iceling. Rolling Thunder now to play as Strawberry Bagel will burn down one more. Eventually, Nana and friends get the stall and get the advantage. A minute still to work with, and Hannah wants to take matters into her own hands. Wins the duel versus Cupcake. It's 2v2 for the time being. Lockdown's gonna be there as well, and Ice at the ready, but Hannah still wins. Hannah again humbles the opposition. All left to Angelo now. 1v2 situation. Finds the target. Snowkey with the spot. As the lockdown has detonated, Hannah's waiting for the cross. Look who is ready. It will be the Hero KDA. Nana and friends can't stop them whatsoever. It's the Hero KDA with the lead at the end of the half.
What a round, and again, so very competitive between these two teams. Very tug of war, but 5-7 is the half that we are seeing. So for now, I'm gonna throw it back to our panelists. Jenny, Zach, what do you have to say?
Thanks, Tash and Dex. And 7-5 still anyone's game at this point. Zach, I think you wanted to highlight just how good the Hero KDA's reads were on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think that the Hero KDA, they were excellent at really being able to find the gaps in the defenses of their opponents. A lot of the rounds that you saw, they had 2 things that were really going for them. Number one, on their executes, they were just so powerful, just barging onto site. And once that spike goes down, you saw the lineups coming out. There was just no way that the site was being retook, that the spike was being diffused at all. It was just an impossible task from that point onwards. Really a lot to ask for from Nana and friends.
Yeah, and you're talking about the Ashling's Brim lineups being so scary. I gotta pick your brain on this really quick. It is that mirror matchup. How do we think they're gonna do after the switch?
I think that post-play utility was definitely a key factor for the Hero KDA being able to take that slight lead, but hey, that side is going to be swapping over right now, and AF, they're going to be the ones on attack. And on a map like Fracture, I think that orb control in particular is super important, so that's something that I'd like to see Nana and friends focus on. I think the thing that they were doing best was being very proactive. You saw the number of rounds that they won, that they were able to crunch in and just find those kills early on. If they can maintain that level of proactivity and aggression, it might serve them well, and maybe even take the lead away from the Hero KDA.
All right, well, one team moves on, one team goes home. Tash and Dex, back over to you guys.
Got one more half to do it here, Tash. We have one more half to see who will move on. Nana and friends, a chance here, perhaps in the pistol, but the Hero KDA, there's always that last say that they have, if you notice, right? Coming into the end of these first halves, they're just like, okay, let's show them how it's done. And that's what gives them a bit of a buffer to work with.
This is really exciting when you think about it between these two teams. Let's see how much aggression these two teams will be doing, but it looks like it's going to be a pincer if they do actually push this out. Look at a 3-man push out of B main. I don't think, is anyone actually watching their flag? I don't think so. If they're not aware, they might just be going down here. And look at that, where Strawberry Bagel is at the same time.
It's dangerous now. and the Seas is even better. Cupcake caught out towards the sand. Icing will go for the disengage instead, and the hero KDA prepared now to just play for the retake if ever. Sindari though would find out the Soki. They're relying here heavily for the defense to make that flank work, but Hannah now on top of the rope, looking to find at least any kind of angle. Ice though with the pokes, the prods, and the taps. It leaves everything to Hannah now in a 1v4. Prowler though coming her way, gets the intel already. Nana and friends, they have forced their way towards the site, keeping tabs off the flags. The turret gets a spot, Timmy with the damage, but here comes Angela, the paint shells too. From this point on, it's Hannah looking to go for the isolated duel. Angela's just waiting for the timing. Bit of coordination perhaps. Cupcake gets the intel, and Angela will deliver. 3 for her, and a round taken by Nana and friends.
The idea was right by Hannah and friends, but not Hannah and friends, the hero KDA. Oh my god, this is hard. But for NF, they had the right, they were just very, very okay to go onto A, but I was so sure that Hannah and friends were gonna get that pincer. It was just so unfortunate that they weren't able to really make any big impact with that first contact.
Just goes to show here for Nana and friends, if they realize, okay, our flank isn't covered, we need to make sure that that's something to watch out for. Just a quick reposition towards halls. They dealt with the Seas, but that's all they needed to just find at least the timing instead. And look at the hero KD go here, Tash. Snowkey, Lulu. Oh, they want to push.
Here comes a spray!
Prepared as
so
well. And it's just Nana and friends right now. If you saw how proactive they were in that last half, they were the ones always using as much as the map as possible to find the angles versus the hero KDA. Not too surprised that they're trying to set up these traps versus the defense right now to catch them in the act.
Immediately just looking over straight onto the side. That's stopping them. Angela not gonna be deterred at all by that shorty. The pink shells clears it out. Strawberry bagel only good for 1. Dairy, eyes, 1 each. 7-7, round 14, and we still tie up the score.
Yeah, this is interesting because Nana and friends, they put themselves in a good spot to actually make this bonus work. Buying up though the Phantom Bulldogs at the ready, and from what we've seen so far, this is where Nana and friends usually get their good starts going. I think that's one thing that's been flipped this whole series, Tash. Usually I expect it's the hero KDA who has the good starts coming into these halves. They're the ones who set the momentum. But Nana and friends, they're ready to answer during pistol rounds, and because of it, they've given themselves a chance to try and build up an economy too.
Just taking her time this time around. Again, good read. Sees, does actually hit her teammate. No movement quite yet. Ready, just cover her back if, say, someone were to push out. Snooki, underpass side. At this point, I don't quite yet, but enough information to hear from the footsteps. No value from those taps. Will be forced to give away her position.
Yeah, Nana and friends now backing away, moving over towards A instead. Drop though, covered by the Killjoy utility. Strawberry Bagel as prepared as can be, and with the alarm bot getting triggered, it's now time for Bagel to pop the Nana Swarms and call the attention. Beautiful movement from Angela, but she's clearing out low when you have Bagel up high instead. This high ground might be the chance, and Bagel will get at least one before she's felled. Angela though makes the trade work. 4v4 for the time being.
Lulu,
will be the A side, but Lulu, the timing you mentioned. Sindari there with the answer back across the map, and yet again it's trade for trade, but Hannah now swinging things back in favor of the hero KDA. Sandstone is still the position, but Hannah doesn't care. It's all about watching the side. It's all left now to Sindari, but in the 1v3, the hero KDA are so prepared for her. From high to low, it will be goodbye. Lulu's ready there for the last shots, and it's the hero KDA still with the lead.
Wow. Honestly, seeing this come through, the hero KDA might just have the momentum back in their hands. But in this situation, they lost quite a lot of rifles, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of mounting concern for the next round coming through. But in this situation though, we also gotta give big props to Sindari. Every time she's the last man standing, she still manages to pick 1-2 off before she finally goes down.
But then again, you still see the impact of the hero KDA. Players like Hannah, players like Olulu, you just notice that they're usually good for at least 2 in these rounds. And the match checks out. The hero KDA, They have guns to work with. What's more interesting though, Tash, not just one, but also two judges in hand, and Bagel plays by the box.
Angela, waiting for the utility to come out. Nothing seen quite yet. Does know if someone playing up close does not get spotted out by the Prowler at all. Second one does, and Aisling immediately retaliates as Bagel still holding with the shorty, gets the value, but will be answered back by Nuki Aisling as well. 30 HP left for Sundari. It's gonna be very hard to get onto site. All they have is just 2 players against 3. Don't have the man advantage. They can get value from the isolated fights, but time ticking as well as the crossfires. This is a very tall mountain to climb.
Yeah, Aisling's here. Still waiting for any kind of contact. Nana and friends looking to play from main. And as Cupcake and Sundari are looking to set up that crossfire. Eventually, Aisling with the find. 3 for her. Hannah ends it all. 9-7, and it's the hero KDA now ramping up the action yet again in their favor.
Honestly, I think in the previous map, or was it the one before, that Hannah tweeted after the game, "I'm so new." Are you kidding me? You're seeing her performance in this particular map, the multi-frags as well coming through. Sometimes you just gotta remind themselves, right? Like, actually, you're not.
I mean, they're here for a reason.
Exactly.
They're on this broadcast. They're in the playoffs of Game Changers LCQ because they are the best of the best that are trying to fight for those final 2 spots for Elites. And we go now with Nana and
WG?
friends. No, they just want to go gung-ho. You mentioned it, Sash. Double key perhaps, but tower instead taken by Angela. Looking for the clear. She also has a showstopper for a bit of range if ever. But as of now, a quick take here from Nana and friends. Moving to the plan as the boom buff now figures out once here by Jenny. Angel's also hammering down on the Snowkey. It's time for the Rolling Thunder showstopper hurt as well. And it's a big investment here for Nana and friends to bring the fight towards the hero KDA.
What is this
Lulu
chaos?
trying to go for the handle, but it's Angela there up close and personal to get that frag. Here comes the overstrike, burning down Angela. It's 3v3 for the time being. And keep an eye out towards main as Ice is just looking for any opportunity once the smoke does dissipate. Hannah though wants to check it as soon as possible. The Nano Swarm bothering Bagel on the defuse over on tower. It's Nana and friends still holding. The Molly being pretty much the blockade. And Hannah and Aisling, they don't disappoint. 2 make that 3 for Aisling. The defuse done as well. And the hero KDA, they can handle it all.
The hero KDA, all of them are heroes. Look at how exactly well that was executed in that post plant. They push out all the way. Utility to stop them from peeking out of tower. Hannah using her utility to clear out those smokes and push all the way out to main. Just using their bodies to just block them from being able to push out forward, providing a lot of space as well as safety for Strawberry Bagel to defuse. That is what we want to see in those post-plant situations. And on top of that, maybe if they had lost the round, you would criticize like maybe they should have played together. But in this situation, that is pure confidence from every single member of the Hero KDA.
No, this is the peak Hero KDA. This is what brought them the success from the Swiss stage to have that flawless run. And their favorites for a reason here in the LCQ. And as of now, with that kind of performance, with that kind of round, you can see why. Krathira is set, and not only that, the push looking likely, courtesy of Snowkey and Alulu. Nana and friends are effectively stuck here right now. 3 of them trying to push into Hall. The Prowler getting confirmation. Pinch also very possible. And watching what Angela can do with the double satchels if ever. We get now the Haunt broken quickly. Smokes there too, and Bagel wants to try and brave the fires. Here comes the rest of the Hero KDA, but Nana and friends do fight back. Sundari gets 1. It's 2 here for Hero KDA in response. Absolute slaughter though, courtesy of the defense, and Angela is but a witness to what just happened. Now they realize they're right behind them. Olulu with the Rolling Thunder. Is this gonna be the point of contention here from Nana and friends? Angela in cover still. They haven't retrieved the spike as of yet. And as it stands, Olulu holding now a bit of a reprieve. Beautiful flash though gives Angela a chance, and with it, it will be Nuki on the board. 1v1, but Nuki needs only a single bullet at the end. It's 11 now for the Hero KDA as they are running away with this half.
Aisling with the hero play! Literal definition. But this smoke was a thorn in both teams' side. Whose smoke was it? We don't know. Whoever that pushes through the smoke will die. But Ashley gave so much support from a further angle, gave so much value, just playing with the Smoke's timings. 4 rounds in a row already for the hero KDA. And Nana and friends, you start to see the cracks form. They don't have an answer to this aggressive defense coming in from the hero KDA.
Yeah, the hero KDA has finally acclimated the way that we expect from them. And Aisling, of course, she's been so clutch in these scenarios. Once we get nearer and nearer to an end of a series, that's when she steps on up. And in moments where contact is effectively the whole situation, they just went for their own push that you mentioned. They decided to take everything away from Nana and friends. And as soon as they realized that, okay, that spike is going to be there, they're coming from behind us, they made sure that they could still cover up any of those flash plays. It did get dangerous. It went to the clutch situation again. But somehow, players like Aisling, they just don't disappoint. And that confidence is what is bringing the hero KDA to this success.
Still wondering what exactly Nana and friends have in mind for this attack. Defense side looks so good for them. They don't necessarily know how to commit, how to break onto the site. Yes, they get the spike down. But the post plant has been some of the biggest problems they've been facing. Both sides of the hero KDA has their eyes on the wrong side of the map. Might be a free B hit here for Nana and friends, but the retakes for the hero KDA hasn't necessarily been sloppy either.
And Nana and friends, they're running out of chances here, Tash, and even more so running out of players. Things falling on apart, perhaps the pressure now getting to them because this is the hero KDA and their set ways. Go for the snowball of rounds, check, steamroll the opposition, and especially now with the gun advantage. Tower here held by the hero KDA. As soon as it goes for the peak, it will be Nuki. Will die. 5v2 set now. Sindari trying to survive with 21 HP. But this is the hero KDA looking to put a stop again to any kind of Nana and friends ambition. Still, sure, it's a 2v4, but what can Sindari and Cupcake really do at this point?
Have gun deficit. Sundari was still able to pick up one, but gets a little bit of upgrade here. We have seen Cupcake and Sundari do some massive damage with these rifles. Hell, even a sheriff, but time is ticking. Running out.
10 seconds left.
Don't think they're gonna make it any time. Sundari does pick one off. Snowkey will stop that, but a spray to come through here. Cupcake gets one more. 3 seconds to go. No time. And all they can do is just stay out of sight. At the least they can be happy about is getting that consolation prize of the plant money.
Match point.
Well, it's hard to be happy here at Sash for Nana and friends as they are seeing their life in the LCQ slipping away from them. 5 rounds in a row has put the hero KDA not just on match but series points. Looking likely here for them to keep up with this momentum if ever. The good thing here for Nana and friends, it's a bit of that extra money. They have afforded the rifles now. They also have 3 ultimates ready here. But beyond that, the hero KDA, you can see that they're just so confident in all of these plays. And I do wonder what else Nana and friends can do. Contact, can it go in their favor? Ice gets one. Bagel with a trade quickly. Might be the signal for NF to go towards B from Arcade.
Pressure rising. Whether or not it does impact Nana and friends will be the question, a positive way or a bad way. Strawberry Bagel wastes no time, gonna put down her utility, will be answered back by the orbital strike, moves them out of the way, and each team has to respect this space. They do get the plant, but Hannah answers back. She's been waiting for the right time to pop that out. Snowkey with the showstopper spots out. Nuki will push out toward the other side of tower, spots another already for 3. Sandieri tries to make a hero play, not happening! As it's a decisive win from the hero KDA, and they will be moving forward in the VCT APAC LCQ.
It took a while, but this is the hero KDA standard. They just run away with the game. And you have to think about how this series went, Tash. The emotions from the hero KDA right now. Yes, they're so confident, as we saw in the player counts, but in that last map alone, the size of relief from the clutch from Olulu. Now, they have found their footing. Now they have found their time. And they continue on here in the LCQ. Such a great improvement from Nana and friends, especially compared to their previous outings. This was the best form that we saw from them, especially in that first map. But as of right now, they will be eliminated. Such a good try, but this is where we say goodbye to them.
That's right. It's almost poetic, poetic karmic history or whatever you want to say. How in the second map, it was a straight streak by the non-friends. And then the same thing happened in the last one. Congratulations to the hero KDA. And a nice try to Nana and friends. And for now, gonna break it down with Zach and Jenny on the desk.
Congrats to the hero KDA. Unfortunately for Nana and friends, all good things do have to come to an end, and so does their run in this year's Game Changers APAC. I mean, these girls, they stole our hearts way back in Open 1. When they were a Capybara gang, they made it to playoffs in Open 1, struggled in Open 2 and 3. This LCQ just really looked like they'd maybe found a new peak, but unfortunately, just today, it was not enough.
Yeah, it was a really close series throughout, especially on that map number 2. They were almost there at that 2-0, except that Ululu stepped up towards the end, and it's very unfortunate, but we do have to say goodbye to them. That said, though, the hero KDA, they completely deserve the win today to be able to push it through to that overtime on that map number 2, and then the second half coming out on Fracture. That's the hero KDA that we know of, you know, the one that went flawless in that Swiss stage, that was able to really put up those numbers and that kind of performance that you've come to expect from them at this stage. So kudos to them for being able to just find their footing on that third map finally and power through.
Yeah, absolutely. The hero KDA, this time around, the MVP is going to go over to Aisling on the Brimstone. Of course, just absolutely crazy numbers. 2011 on the Brim as well. And I know we've mentioned this and brought this up a couple of times, but on the mirror matchup as well. And I think it just comes down to the fact that, you know, two teams could have the exact same agent composition, but just the way that they play out the composition could be so entirely different. I mean, Zach, you had a lot of thoughts just about how both teams played this time around, especially the retakes, the utility usage. Tell us more.
For sure. I think that, you know, in the first half, it was kind of neck and neck. You know, there were rounds where you saw these kind of pincers coming out of Nana and friends. They were able to find that early advantage and stick with it. But on rounds where that didn't work out, where it got a little bit more scrappy and Hero KDA were able to get that spike down, the post plant coming in was impeccable. And switching over to that second half, you saw more of that excellent utility usage really coming out. In particular, Snowkey with the pain shells, with the raise utility, absolute menace. And I think what was the biggest difference maker here was the kind of spacing that was on the map coming out of the hero KDA. Just no real they never really let their opponents have any kind of space or control to work with. You know, even if they gave up the side, it was part of a master plan. They were ready for the retake. And of course, if you look at the MVP here, Aisling on the Brimstone, you saw the damage that her mollies had.
Oof.
Every time someone tried to walk through them, they were burnt alive. So many rounds.
That was so irritating. I mean, it's the hallmark of a good Brimstone, right? They've got to make their mollies damage efficient. They've got to, when you know that they're annoying, you know that that's when they play a good Brimstone. But also just the post-plant statistics that we saw post-match for that, I think was 7 out of 9 post-plant retakes for the hero KDA and only 2 out of 5 for Nana and friends. And it's not just the fact that they're winning 7 out of 9 of those retakes, it's the fact that they have that confidence to say, oh, it's fine, we're just gonna let them put the bomb down, and they've got the confidence to know that they have that plan to play that retake together and then to win that off of that. So just absolutely kudos to them. I think as you said, this was the hero KDA that we are expecting coming into today. Before day 1 of LCQ even started, I think a lot of us were betting on maybe the hero KDA, Deviant Topaz as some of the teams that look like they would be, you know, in the top 4, having a good chance of grabbing those last 2 spots. Day 1 and day 2, we were like, you know, what's going on? And yeah, I'm just glad that they're finally on day 3, that all-important day, finding their groove again.
For sure. And like you mentioned, this is a team that had a flawless Swiss stage, but, you know, dropping in that lower bracket, it was a little bit more difficult. It was a little bit more scrappy, but they're still fighting and they're still in this with a chance, because we do have not 1 but 2 teams qualifying from this LCQ. So they're only possibly 2 games away from making it themselves.
Absolutely, and I think we do have an interview on standby with us. I think, and we Snooky here for the interview. Snooky, can you hear us? Hi.
Hi, no.
Oh no. Can you? Yeah, we can't really hear you. Can you test your mic real quick? Oh no, we've lost you.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Oh no, it's a tech issue. Not again. Hear us? Maybe like
we can make like giant signs like
yeah,
where you
we can
so
like
awesome,
write on
like
a
that.
marker in the back and just like we'll do like a quick fire yes and no. Like, okay,
Yeah,
we'll do
that's
that. We'll
the
do
heart.
like all right, we'll ask yes and no questions. All right. Yeah?
There you go.
She can hear us. Okay. Okay, of course, firstly, congrats on winning this hard-fought series, going all the way to 3 maps. Did you expect the series to go to 3 maps?
Oh, we can hear her kind of.
We can hear. That's so weird. We can hear her when she's not talking in the mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
just
hear you.
It's like super
Yeah.
low, but we can hear you. Yeah.
Just yell into
Barely.
the mic.
Yeah, just scream at us. You have
Just
full,
yell
you have
into the
full-
mic. Pretend you're comsing to team.
The microphone is wrong. Microphone.
We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you checking the settings. Yeah.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. We have her.
Yes. We did it.
Okay, let's go.
Yay! This is like that. You know how many whatever does it take to fix a light bulb? This is like how many.
It takes 3 professional players and 2 panelists. Yes, that's what it takes.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Firstly, thoughts on winning that series? Go.
Okay. Honestly, because we were 1 let down, right? So it was very, very stressful for the second game, especially how close it was. It was like way over time now. But my teammates just carry. Yeah, so I think we all think that believe that we can beat our going through a bit of a hard time right now. Yeah, but we're slowly overcoming it and just proves that just proves that we are actually very happy.
Yeah, especially after that 12-14 yesterday versus Neon. Zach, you got a question for her?
I mean, I was there for that game. It must be such a watershed moment for you to go from losing in that kind of overtime to pushing it to OT today and being able to really just take that series in that map 3. So can you tell me about your mindset, towards that second half and split, as well as, when you went over to that map 3? Like, what were you guys thinking when it was 12-12, for example?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The moment we finished that 2, right? Like we were so emotional, we just like we just need to come right now. Because we know that that could have potentially be our last step. Yeah, so we really have to try our best to put in we try to keep our mental strong. Yeah, so after the match finished, it was like whoa. Like a relief, and then going to back 3, we felt more manageable. Like we were able to play our fracture and how we did before our process.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that mental fortitude definitely showed through, especially in that second half of that map number 3. Well, congratulations, Snooki, and thank you for the interview. Of course, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Oh.
I love seeing that, they're all like together with their like boot camp playing together at the
So
LAN
cute.
center. Yeah, I love that like the girls flew in as well just to make sure that they could train together as a team and then play together. Just right in the feels.
Also, like the little hearts in the middle of the interview from her teammates, just so wholesome. Every time I see one of these teams, it just makes my entire day. But yeah, that's the hero KDA for you. Not just adorable, when They are off the field, but extremely deadly on that field. So they're going to be moving on in that lower bracket. But we do have another series coming up for you next. It's going to be DV and Topaz facing off against Nyx QC. But I believe before that, we're going to be taking a short break. So we'll be right back.